Welcome to Off the Edge. Oh, there he is. Javon's here. Yo, dude.
Of course I was, dude.
What's up, man? I saw your screen. I didn't see you until just a second ago.
Yeah, typically I'm on the couch. Pocket Metal knows to scream. It comes through my monitors and say, "Where you at?" And I'm over here within like 2 minutes.
Nice.
How are you, buddy? How is everybody?
Good, good. Let's see who's in the house. We got Marco in the house. Channel member. What's up, dude? We got Dr. Drew, Pretty Fly for a Knife Guy, Empirical Worm, Ground Fog. Craig's up in the house. What up, Craig? How you doing, man?
Howdy, Craig. Howdy, Rocky.
We got, who else we got? David Von Steenberg. I love that name. Let's see. We got Steve. What up, dude? Channel member. Let's see. Josh Worth. What's up, dude? Oh, that reminds me, man. I meant to open those boxes. I got a bunch of his shit here I need to send him. And apparently there's some good knives in there, like CKFs and whatnot. I just haven't opened them yet.
Nice for you to check out and review.
Well, mostly I'm just proxying for him. He's in Australia.
Oh, I got you. That's right, Josh.
But,
buddy.
Yeah, I mean, I could review him if I wanted. I just haven't had a chance. I don't know why. I just haven't even thought about it.
So do you just have to put together the right? Because you helped me out get a couple out to Canada, or do you have to actually still disassemble them and package them separately and label them differently, or is that just a temporary thing? Because for a while you were breaking them down.
International is different. Canada is the one that's weird. And it depends on the knife. Like if it's a button lock or something, then it's better to take it apart because you really can't tighten the pivot enough to where they can't shake it out.
Yeah, luckily mine were slip joints that were on.
Yeah, then it's perfect. That's literally, the best thing you could have. Rocky, what up?
I got hosed today. I put all my packages, like 4 of them, out in the mailbox at about 5 o'clock this morning. Raised the flag. I didn't think my mail came, and then I came by after going to my dad's this evening. The flag was like almost all the way down, so I went by just to see if anything was in there. And there was one piece of mail for Grateful Panic, and they left the packages in there. I don't know if they thought that, because we have a couple of mail people that normally run, but they didn't pick up my 4 packages. I brought them back inside, and they'll take them out Monday, but I thought that was late. I mail stuff from here every other day.
Oh, I never do that. I guess you could do that. I always drop them off.
Residential neighborhood.
What?
I'm in a residential neighborhood, so I don't worry about people going.
Yeah, I just didn't know that they did that. I thought they would take letters. I don't think they're supposed to take packages.
No, they do. They will take packages. They've taken over 40 from me.
They probably just do it for you, but
no, I think it's part of as long as you have the label printed and everything that they need and it's weighed correctly. And I have had 2 come back. One that had the wrong apartment number because that was my fault.
Right.
And the other one that was the one I labeled wrong to Todd. The second one I sent him.
Yeah, I have too many. Anyway.
The first one didn't have a customs form and went through like butter. It was just like me sending it to you.
Yeah. It's weird sometimes. What up, JD? What's going on? Let's see. Ed in the house. Hey, man in the house. Experience Precision. What up?
Your Salt, remind me to show you a crazy flashlight that's not one of my customs, but I think you'd appreciate it.
If you had to choose JWK locking or Slippy all day, dude. All day. I actually kind of get mad when he does a locking knife release because I'm like, damn it, that could have been another slip joint.
If you took everything out of the
locking knives.
If you took everything, your relationship out of the equation, and the knives that you loved, and I know you let them come and go, and you could choose either a locking knife or a slip joint, what do you think your preferential carry would be the way that you carry and use knives now?
Wait, you mean like
If you had to carry a slipping or or a modern folder.
I carry both?
I know you do,
I
but
carry
if
one
you,
of each, so I don't
I
have
do
to
too.
choose.
If it was a choice,
I don't know. I don't know. I've never had to choose just one. So
well, see, I mean, I've never had to choose it either, but for me, it's an easy choice because even though the slip joint's effective and fun and tactical, or not tactical, tactile, I think I would have no problem saying I think I'd rather have a locking folder as
so
my
you can
only key
get it out quick and
and play
use
with
it.
it
And,
and play with it more than I could a slip joint.
see, I
For
like
me,
playing with. I think I like playing with slip joints more than I do locking knives now. But in terms of functionality, like if it was the only thing I had, I guess yeah, I'd probably want a locking knife just because there are a lot of times where I need to just use a knife real quick and the slip joint takes a lot longer to get out. Or if I have like one hand on something, holding a box or whatever, then I can just grab a knife, flick, and cut versus having to, fiddle
Said
with it.
Stevie has been a member for 25 months and just asked if he's earned his wrench back yet. I would
Who's
say yes, but it's not a democracy. Said Stevie just threw up one of his member 25 months of feeding your coffers, so you should at least give him a wrench.
Stevie?
Yeah, he asked. You'll see it in a second. It's
Come
a
on. Give me
what do
the
they call it when somebody does a member chat? A milestone chat.
yeah. Come on, give me some more. Fireworks. Thank you. Just Nate. Thank you, dude. I'm getting through these. I'll get to that in a second. That douche,
Good to
Stevie.
see you, Stevie.
Jim, we got a lot of channel members up in here. If you guys want some fireworks, join the memberships. That's how you get fireworks. And if you throw up super chats, you get the devil horns and a little bit of rock and roll. You know what I'm saying?
What a shill. Did y'all see my post on my community tab about Lefty Lightboy? I've been learning so much about shit. I need nothing to learn about
Dude,
unless I want to spend
yeah.
$1,500.
It's
It's
another
good
rabbit
stuff.
hole, man.
I would have never thought that you could take the cap out or the little squinchy thing and put one in that gave it a different tactical feel.
Dude,
But after looking at them, it
I
seems like
actually
they could be.
swapped out a switch last night. Like I replaced the whole switch. It was super easy.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I mean, I knew it looked like it was hard to get apart, but once you knew how to get it apart, it seems like you could pretty much rebuild your own custom light
You really
based on the
could.
components that are available.
You'll see.
Didn't know it.
I have another video coming tomorrow. No, not tomorrow, but another one where I was just trying to tighten the driver because it was a little bit loose, and I ended up just going, I'll just see what's in there, and I unscrewed it. Everything came out, and you could see like the optic that sits on top, and then there was tritium in there, and then the glass on top, and I had to put it all back together. I did it like 2 times, no problem. So I could easily add like glow gaskets and shit. But here, I got this from
Well, I see you taking
Okluma
all this
Cells.
knowledge and turning it into a Divo light. That's pretty cool. I mean, I can see you going down that rabbit hole. What is
Yeah,
that?
I want to eventually.
What is that?
Okluma makes this tool to remove and
Oh,
install
yeah,
the
the little
clicky
ring that's
switches.
inside.
So here's the switch, and it has these 2 little prongs, and you literally just. Now I did it last night before I got this tool, and I used snap ring pliers, and it was super easy. You could use tweezers. You don't need this.
But you said that's less than a $7 part for that switch, or was I
The
wrong?
switch is super cheap. The switch is like, we can look at it in a second, but you just put the switch on here, and now you have an easy, turn, and it's going to be less prone to, what the hell is it called when you screw it in the wrong way? Why can't I think?
Reverse polarity.
No, not the battery. Threads.
Oh, yeah. It won't.
Why is my brain not
cross
working?
thread?
Yeah, cross thread. So yeah, anyway, I switched one out last night because one of my lights, my F2, is fritzing out a little bit. It's not it has no memory, but it's not doing that, and then it's doing some other weird shit. So I was talking to Jordy from FocusWorks, and he asked, was it doing that before you switched the cover? And I was like, I don't know. So I can try to, put the old cover back on or whatever. And I ended up changing the whole switch out. Still did it.
But if you sent it back to him, he would fix it. I mean,
yeah,
probably, right?
He's in Canada, so I don't know what's gonna happen. He might. I was saying he could just send me a new head, and then I could just put that on and send him the old one back. Or I don't know. We'll see. But here's Stevie. Give me back my
wrench.
What is it? Oh, wrench. Did you have a wrench, sir? I don't know.
It was one of the original mods.
I don't know, sir. I am not sure if Stevie should have one, is all I'm saying.
I went over to my buddy, local buddy, A to Z, because he got two new sets of scales for his one of four, what are they called? Very popular knife. It's got the fist on it. Something obscene, J case. He's got 4 different J capes, and he ordered some custom dragon scales and some other ones that came with pivot collars. So I was looking at his $1,000 worth of knives, and I said, you need to check out. I had my FocusWorks 2 in my pocket. I said, you need to check out an inexpensive custom light.
It's not coming up, Stevie.
He sat there and played with it and was like, why would I even go there? I said, why would you buy 4 J capes? You go there because it's handmade. My buddy A to Z in Huntsville. I was visiting with him today, and he, like I didn't, and still really don't, a couple of months ago, did not see why someone would dive into anything over an Olight or a Rovie Bond or a little Pineapple or a Meritech. I just never saw it. And I couldn't get him to see the simplicity and the custom nature of it, even though he's holding, $4,000 worth of knives and collects them like crazy.
Where's Stevie? God damn it. Stevie, leave a comment so I can
there he is. He just did.
For some stupid ass reason, it's not showing up on the back end when I try to search. There you go. Add.
So did you see that short I sent you on this? I noticed Frederick and Ada posted one on the same light. And I know
is that the one? Is that the short where it was
the laser?
Yeah.
Yeah, this thing, Cedric and Ada did it, I guess, over in Australia. And they shined it to a tree line that he estimated was 150 meters away, which I don't know how far that is.
That's not a lot for a flashlight, really.
But again, it's a very tight throw. So I live across the street from a cemetery that's probably the equivalent of 4 blocks. And across the cemetery is McClung Avenue, where my mom lives, and there's some houses. So standing on my porch, I can put a beam on the porch that's at least 4 blocks away. Now, the only thing you would need this for, because I've got a mini one too, and it uses a 21-700, but the only thing I could think that you would use this for, if you were hunting animals at night, or if you had it in your truck and you needed to temporarily blind somebody that was coming at you while you were reaching for something, this light, if it hit somebody in the eyes, would literally blind them for probably 5 to 10 minutes. I mean, dude, it is. What?
Robert, Looks like we got some memberships gifted by Jimmy Boy.
Jim gets his
Jimmy
5.
Boy, you get the Thunder Devil Horns. Yeah, baby. Thank you, sir.
So I went all in. It came with little plastic glow rods that you could insert back there, 6 of them.
Pocket
Pocket
stuff.
stuff.
Hey, man. I'm just kidding.
For the pocket stuff.
That thing's ugly as fuck.
I know it is. And it's going to be worse because I ordered tritium inserts for it.
I was talking to somebody about tritium. And they're like, aren't you worried about your balls melting off? And I'm like, no, I'm not. But
unless I break it and drink like 1,000 of them.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if it's like in a flashlight, inside glass, inside of titanium, inside a tube with glue. Like, I don't know.
Well, you think about it. If you live in California, you are by default going to get cancer if you do anything there because everything causes cancer.
Sir.
What's up, Steve? Brother Scotch and things. Did you hear about my... I want to get into later on after you talk. I want to talk about the EF225 again and what it has led to in my purchasing habits.
The what? The what?
The EF225. I want to have a 5-minute.
What's the EF225?
It's a knife you hate. I'm not going to show it.
Oh, no.
Now, let me just tell you a story. So I spent $61 of a knife that everybody hated. From that knife, I have purchased 2 Protex and 1 Strider. So I now have over $1,000 worth of legit products because I experienced a knife that I never would have tried.
And those knives are probably actually worse.
I know the real ones are actually probably worse. But the point is, I didn't buy it to be a poser. I bought it to see if it would suit.
No, you bought the expensive ones to make yourself feel better for buying the clone.
No, because I have no guilt over that.
Yeah, man. Don't try to play that shit here.
Dude, I know everybody in the community buys all kinds of stuff. And I've resisted from buying the bug outs. I don't know if y'all have seen the bug outs.
What do you mean
the Demcos that have all hit Amazon. I won't buy them.
Why? I don't understand any temptation to buy clones at all.
As someone who objectively thinks about people like me 2.5, 3 years ago now that came into the community that doesn't know any better, I think education.
Thank you, JD. Did he just sign up? I swear he didn't have that earlier. Oh, he must have got one from Jim. That's what it is.
I think the education is important for people that might not know the difference because people come in all the time. Not to promote a clone, even though my affiliate link would, of course, be in the description.
Of course you were, Stevie.
Casey, I agree. Clones suck. My only point was I bought a knife 8 months ago just to see what it was like. A, because I wanted to be able to shit on it, thinking it was going to be crappy. Like Lefty said, it's probably better than the originals. But since I appreciated the design of the knife, I bought a Protec PT207, a Protec S&G, and a Strider S&G that'll be here Monday. All because of that one knife. I would have never
stopped talking about the brand. Goddamn clone.
You're missing the entire point.
The entire point is that you want to keep bringing that fucking thing up, even though I've banned it from this channel.
I've got a list of words that you banned and a list of words that Pocket Metal has banned. The things that trigger you two are so radically different, but you're equally triggered. Words.
I don't have words that I banned. I have clones that I don't want to see.
Nobody wants to see them, but for people who might buy them, they need to know what they are getting. And in most cases, it is not backed. It is a ripoff of somebody's hard work, and it is a shitty replication. So if people see that, I think they might be less likely to click on it, buy it, and then 2 years later buy the real thing.
What's the flashlight? Can anybody click on that link from Stevie?
I'm gonna go find it. I'm gonna go find it.
Only tools want wrenches. What's up, Mikey?
No, I really was hoping to have that Strider today, but I didn't think I would. And I know that you're not a Strider fan for any stretch. Where's that quote?
I've had Trigicon night sights for 25 years. That's true, actually. Yeah. Tritium, that would be what's in a lot of firearms. Nobody's
Who's got
all
them?
melting off. Didn't even think of that.
I got them
Tritium.
from a place called Mix Pro, which
Ask
was
Steve. I told him about my flashlight with the check it out. This one has tritium in the front emitter area here. They always have these 3 little towers in there, and you can put tritium in there if you want. This one actually has it. And he's like, "Aren't you worried about your balls melting?" I
Did
get
y'all
that all
take
the
down
time.
the
I'm
link?
like, no, I'm not.
I was getting ready to click on that link, but y'all took it down.
What?
Whatever that link was that was thrown up there that you said somebody click on it, I went and found it, but I can't find the link. It's now gone. It is in doses that are, everything's toxic.
A lot of things are bad for you, Maris. He
You
lives
need
in
to watch
California.
Tim Dillon's latest rant on the new McDonald's that's coming out that sells nothing but healthy shakes and frappes. They're killing you now with liquid. It's a great rant, and it's true.
If the tritium's encased, you'd
Midnight, what's shaking, brother? Casey's knife fast through you a nickel with love.
I'm almost caught up. What up? Just tuning in. The old crazy dude be talking about knockoffs again.
Everybody missed the point. The knockoffs led to me spending over $1,000 on legit products.
Stop, Javon.
I'm
For
done.
the love of
I'm
God.
off my soapbox. It won't
I
be
meant
sick again.
flashlight. Whoops.
I feel guilty giving it away.
I was thinking it was going to be something like that.
I will not even give it away, but it is too good to destroy.
A knife like a Strider, etc. You can buy, try, and flip if it's not for you. Don't need to buy the knockoffs.
I agree, but mine was $69, and I wasn't buying it to have a Strider. I was buying it to see what it was and how they were selling it on Amazon, because this was before the influx of fake knives.
Midnight. Channel member up in here. If I was worried about my balls melting off, I would have turned the TV off years ago.
Or cell phones in our pockets.
Hey-o. Devil horns, baby. Yeah. Come on, Google. Yeah.
So is your Apple camera allowing you to do that? Because my StreamYard doesn't.
Yep. It's because I use my I use an iPhone as a webcam.
I either need to cancel my Cameo subscription or figure out how to
Cancel
utilize it.
that. If you have an iPhone, just do you?
Yeah, and I've got it. I use it for my tabletop down on StreamYard. I just invite it. Click
Well,
on the
there you go.
link.
That's what I have a backup. I bought an iPhone on eBay to use as a camera.
I gave Grateful Panic a really good Samsung that I had when he first got here. I don't know where that is, but a good phone like an iPhone that you don't need would be great for a camera. I don't know how to Cameo is not easy to cancel. I did find my last invoice they just emailed me, and hopefully.
Yeah, I agree. They make it hard. I just email them and say, "Hey, cancel everything." That's what I do, and they did respond to that. Blessed Knives, what up? How do I tell if my Divo match is V1 or V2? I bought on the secondary, and need hardware, but don't know which set to ask for. Well,
Good question.
they're actually the same in terms of hardware, so it doesn't matter. The only difference in terms of the hardware is the stop pin, which you're not going to be changing a stop pin, so it doesn't really matter.
Unless he lost his stop pin.
Yeah, but he didn't lose his stop pin. He
You don't know
stripped a
that.
screw, or he
He's looking
wants
for
a fresh
hardware.
set of hardware because somebody else, scratched the shit out of something. He didn't lose a stop pin. I already know the answer to that, but yeah, they're basically the same, dude. But the way to tell is, assuming it's still stock, the V2s came in this blue handle with black, and they came in a Tux version, which is a black handle with a satin blade. And
Which
then
is what I've got.
the V1s came in all gray, so titanium bead blast handle with satin, and a reverse Tux, which is bead blast handle with black blade. So that's how you tell the difference. But just hit me up, dude. Let me know what you need. I have hardware.
Done right.
Yes, exactly.
The Lush is one of my top 2 right now. I did not expect to love that knife, but Ethan Ruins made me play with his at Blade Show, and it just stuck with me. Have you ever had one of those, Kevin? You don't like him, do you?
What?
A Lush?
A Lush? You mean the Divo, like our knife?
Yeah.
Have I handled it?
Well, I was confused about a different knife. Of course you've handled it.
What are we talking about?
Dude, I've got too many knives. I'm about to start selling. Question for you and everybody there. I was on McNeese's site the other day because I posted a knife on my story that wasn't his, and he sent me a message, and I kind of apologized because I felt like a dick, even though it got him traffic. But he sells hardware, like blue hardware, and he also sells backspacers. And I wouldn't get a blue backspacer. I was just thinking about getting a rock.
Who?
Stop. McNeese.
Oh, he sells
Like
backspacers?
he has different type of backspacers, a smooth, a geared. I don't like either one of
Why
those.
doesn't it just come with one?
Because it doesn't. It's one of those things. But would you keep it totally stonewashed, which I kind of dig, and just buy the rock backspacer, which is also the same color, or would you add like blue hardware to give it a little pop? I'm going to keep this knife.
I don't like adding color personally, so I would just stick with it. Looks blue to me right now. Is it gray?
It's gray.
That's your camera.
I've got blue lights on.
So I would leave it gray if it was me. I did a video saying there's difference in spacing. The only difference is
do you like the rock backspacer?
So
does it match the color?
Yeah, I would just match the color. The stop pin is the only thing that I can think of that's different on the hardware. I mean, it's my knife. Like, pretty sure I'm right.
And I hear they just clipped regular
but hit me up.
coat hangers. Just measure it and clip a coat hanger to that size, and it'll be the same thing as the stop pin they use.
What?
If they need to replace the stop pin, all y'all used were coat hangers, I thought. So all they have to do is clip the little piece of coat hanger and stick it in there, and it'll be the same as a stop pin.
I don't know.
I'm fucking with you, dude.
Don't use your Leatherman arc because it'll apparently break it. But yeah, I might have V1 stop pins, but my point is, who the fuck ever needs a stop pin? Like, that's very rare.
I lost one, and it
Of course you have.
I found it, but it was
I bought a clone stop pin to put in there.
I bought one effing grow EF225 in my life. When I bought it, I was like, how could they sell this? Maybe because Strider's such a fucked up, weird company, they sold the rights because they knew. I didn't know. I was a consumer on Amazon. I wasn't a knife guy.
Yes, but that was funny. He bought a fake. Was it a Strider? I think it was.
It was a Strider, I think.
But he bought it specifically. He actually bought it like I think years before. As I forget what the reason was, but
to carry it because he's a poser and you're a fanboy. That's why you're taking up for him.
He had an argument with somebody over clones, and I forget what the point was, but anyway, so he had it and he was like, "Fuck this thing," He found it or whatever years later, and then he did that just to fucking throw it off a cliff. So I thought that shit was funny, but
it was because a lot of people.
That's one exception to it, but my ass would be the one who's stuff. Well, we could ask you. He's here. Did you lose a stop pin? Like, what's up? Stop pin is good. Just screw is stripped. See, called it. I want blue hardware set. Ooh, I don't think I have blue, man. We're pretty limited on MASH hardware. I just have like here's my little baggie of just hardware I've opened up and
sorry, there's no blue in there.
So depending on what you need, I'll send you what you need, but I don't think I have any colored kits. Actually, hold on. I may be wrong. I have, looks like purple.
Purple's cool.
I have a bunch of black. Looks like it's your
I'm really
lucky
thinking
day.
about doing that.
Looks like I got a blue one here. I think this is for the MASH. I'm pretty sure. It's been in this bag getting stonewashed for the last fucking 6 months, though. They really package these in a weird way. But I think everything's in here. I've noticed sometimes
they shit.
Yeah, like this purple one doesn't have body screws for some reason. But this
blue one does?
Yeah, the blue one does. Somebody hit me up. I forget who. What was it? Not LCAP. It was somebody. If you're here, you could tell me. But
Kenny, you've got him.
Like, hey, I got this months ago, and I just got around to like swapping the hardware, and I noticed there's no body screws. So I got all blue hardware, but the body screws aren't blue. And I'm like, okay. And I looked at what I had, and I was like, oh shit, this purple kit doesn't have screws either. So Kubi just randomly forgot screws on some of them. I'm surprised I hadn't heard about it until like a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, dude, hit me up. Email me, LeftyEDC88@gmail.com, or hit me up on Instagram at Divo Knives or Lefty, whatever. I'll get you this blue kit.
Let me ask you a quick question.
What?
Do you have any camo carbon lushes in your possession?
Do I have? I have a.
That you're taking to blade show. I mean, that you're taking to blade.
Oh.
That you held back.
No.
You're just telling me that. You can text me, because what I was going to say is I could not get a camo carbon, but I got an Arctic blue that'll be here Monday that I won't even unbox. I would send it to you in its original packaging if you would swap it for a camo carbon, because I know at Blade Show you'll be able to sell either one, 6.5 dozen the other.
Yeah, but the thing is, the ones that I have, which
I'm gonna take my Divo hat off if you keep the butts.
The what?
I'm gonna take my Divo hat off if you keep hitting me with butts.
Well, my point is, I can't do that because I have those in case people have problems.
I know you do, dude.
So if it was like a month from now, then I would probably do it because I'd be sure that I didn't have people with issues. If I had a shit ton of them, sure, but I don't. So
I'm happy to have the Arctic blue. I wasn't crazy about the red, but I would have bought it if it was left.
The red is amazing.
Did it go before the blue? Which one went last?
The red went last, which is pretty standard affair for
Did you have more of those?
Colors.
Or I think it's just
No,
the market saturated with
there was
red.
100 of each. Gone awry. Javon, how much do you want for that Lush clone? Nice.
Hey, I've got something real quick to show you. And I know you don't do chickadees or fixed blades anymore, right? But I want to show you a knife I found browsing on DLT. I want you to look at the grip.
Mick.
Look at the size of it. Look at the size of the
sir.
knife.
Appreciate you.
But look at the grip.
What?
It's a 4-finger grip. This little Bark River. It's the same size.
It looks like a little fish.
But what I'm saying is, we use EDC fixed blades. I do, to get into packages, to cut through a bunch of duct tape or the nasty little jobs. I'm not a skinner. I'm not a trapper. But
that's what that would be good for, I think.
It's a great little knife. My point is, for somebody like you who liked them for a little while, this grip is so much bigger, even though the blade's not. They put it's a 5-inch knife. They put all the dimension in a very well done satin way. It's 3V, like $150, and it comes with this sheath that I never do belt sheaths. And I've got some hardware coming because this leather sheath's done pretty cool. It's got these rivets on it. See the rivets? So it'll hold an ulti clip, or it'll hold something else. But it's got this little belt loop.
That's way too big of a. That's the sheath for that knife,
dude. It's a pocket dropper. Look how tiny it is. Let me show it to you next to my drift. This is the knife sheath. This is my drift.
Yeah.
I mean, you can easily just drop this in your back pocket.
A lot of sheath, though, for a little knife like that.
Right, but it's a well-made sheath. You could get a custom sheath, and I've got Tuesday. I've got an Oak City leather coming for my
like, wait, what?
My T. Denny apprentice.
What knife are we talking about? Javon just asked Kevin if he's handled a Lush.
I wasn't thinking Lush. I was thinking I don't even know what I was thinking. I've been drinking coffee and vaping things I shouldn't be, so I'm not normal. But that's a great little knife. And since I got it, I've seen like 3 reviews on it.
Yeah, I mean, the knives are different. That wasn't the question. The question was hardware. There's no difference in hardware except for the stop pin. So that's what I was answering. The knives are different. We changed stuff from V1 to V2. We made it a little better. That's why it's a V2.
Same OEM, you just upped the stop pin because you felt like it needed to be a little chunkier?
No, they changed it from either it was shouldered or it wasn't, and then they switched it to the other one. But it had something to do with the way we were changing the plunge to accommodate the grind. We were trying to make the tip more centered because the way it's hard to explain, but the way they did the this grind right here, this is the plunge grind. The way they did that out to the tip here on the V1, it was a little bit wonky. So sometimes you'd look at it and it would just look off center. So they changed it. So now it's a lot thinner out to the tip, basically. The hollow grind travels all the way out, where on the V1, you can tell it's like hollow, and then it's almost like flat right at the tip. So that's one of the differences. And that basically changed the geometry back here a little bit as well, which all of that goes into it. And then the stop pin, and then they also seated the liner a little tighter because when you close the V1, it would sometimes, I don't know, it kind of sound like it would reverberate a little bit. Not rattle, but it would kind of reverberate a little bit. I didn't like that. So that was another adjustment they made. They tightened up the tolerances of where the liner sits into the scale, so it didn't have any room to, I guess, vibrate. And I think they changed the stop pin because that's what it was. On the V1, the stop pin landed on where did it land? You gotta watch Neves' video. He's the one who told me about it. There was like a little, it was that's right. It was up here where it landed.
Their thought, was it bad? I'll never watch my lives. I apologize.
When you opened it, the stop pin actually landed on like a rounded portion or something. Wasn't an issue or anything. We tested it, didn't fail or anything on spine wax, but it did seem a little odd. So we had them cut, they put a little indent into the blade where the stop pin hit, and that's why the stop pin's different. That's what it was. Took me a minute there to remember.
You've taken apart a Demco 20.5, right?
Yeah, way too many times.
I was putting one together after doing a magnet mod, and I switched my stop pin up. I didn't have the stop pin in yet, but I had one of the little other pins where my stop pin goes.
Yeah, that'll fuck shit up.
Dude, I wrestled with that. I could not figure out what I did wrong. I thought about you, your old videos.
I probably did that in a video because I've definitely done that.
I've learned now just to keep my shit in little neat piles. Try to keep them in the right area. And I'll tell you the trickiest one, I've taken it apart twice, had trouble both times, is the pulsar. Always forget that you've got to put that part of the bar lock between the liner and the scale, or you can't get the bar through. And I'll always get it almost all the way together and realize I didn't do that part and have to take it apart. You know what I'm talking about? Because you do some work for Conway, right? Or you did?
Yeah, not much. I haven't had anything come through in a while. But I've taken apart a bunch of them. What was the problem?
They make great shit.
What?
They make fantastic knives. I wish they'd get away from the bar lock and
yeah, I wish they would stop doing the fucking bar lock, because I really loved their Tau and the ones that came out with, you know, that weren't that bar lock, but people like it. You know what I mean?
The Padre is one of the best, and if you try to flip both of those knives, they're totally different feeling. One feels totally weak, and one feels crisp.
What are you talking about?
The difference in a Kunwu frame lock and a Kunwu.
Well, it's like anything.
I think magnets are where it's at. I tried the magnet mod and it works, but it's not quite as crisp of a detail as I want. And Saigon Kick, I don't know if you saw, because you don't care about axis lock or shark locks, but JD for EDC did a couple of videos where he sourced some magnets from Amazon. I kind of copied his videos, gave him credit for them, modded mine, included my pulsar, and they were better, but they just didn't have the snap I expected. So Saigon Kick takes original goat scales and he semi-bores them out, and he has a different source for these industrial magnets where he has to use epoxy because super glue won't hold the magnets apart. Because the key is you never want them to make contact with your blade, right? You just want them to be putting that pressure on the blade. And the detents he's getting, he sent me a couple to look at before I sent in mine, but it looks like everything we hate about axis locks, even though I don't think I'll ever go that route, is shark locks. I think magnets can fix it without messing up the knife.
Well, look at the Factor. And Brian Winters told me that he was surprised when he built the Factor prototypes or whatever, that reversing the polarity on the magnets actually made it stronger. You would think taking you would think taking two magnets and having them, hold on, let me grab this magnet.
Having them pull together.
What?
Having them pull towards together.
I dropped the half a magnet coin. It's stuck to my vent. Got it. So, basically, if you were putting magnets in a knife to use as a detent, you would think having the magnets like this on each side, pulling the blade towards them, would make the detent stronger.
Which was my assumption and how I mounted
But what
it.
he said was reversing the polarity actually
Where they
made it
push,
stronger.
where they push against each other.
I guess. I don't know why or whatever, but that's what he told me. He's like, reverse polarity was actually better.
I don't know anything about magnetic energy, but it makes sense if the magnets are attracted to metal and the magnet to magnet thing's kind of a phenomena, right? Maybe by having the magnets force not directed at each other, you're pulling harder on the metal. But I mounted all 4 of mine wrong because I took them, stuck them together, and then separated them and felt like you would want them pulling towards the blade. It made sense to me.
It's just, I don't think it fixes the issue though with the crossbar locks. Like they just have, even with the magnet thing, it's fine, but like I think like the factor's good because without the magnets, it basically has nothing. Like there's no spring in there with tension or anything like that.
Well, the
Like,
crossbar lock's the biggest offender because it's putting more pressure on your deployment. Where I don't think the shark lock has that same resistance, does it?
um,
As an
no, but
axis.
you do have to overcome a certain like. That's the thing is there's that point where the spring compresses, and then you have to get past that, I guess, before it extends. And that's where I don't know. I
My
just think
favorite
why don't
lock,
we just make the locks? Why don't we just use locks with D10s?
my favorite is a detent frame lock that I can spine whack and fail.
Like you could take a button lock, right? Or sorry, you could probably take a button lock, and you could put an actual detent in there. Like what's that knife that has a well, okay, so yeah, an example would be like what Golden Design did, where he took a button lock and
And a frame
he
lock.
just added a button to a frame lock essentially. But what I'm thinking of, I've seen it somewhere. I don't know if it was an axis lock, a button lock, what kind of lock was it? And then they just literally had a lock bar inside of the handle with a detent, and the blade had a detent hole, but it didn't act as the lockup point. It literally just was a detent ball that operated just like a detent, but then when it opened up, it locked up with the button lock or the whatever it was.
What would, because I know nothing about knives, but this is the Civivi Mini Malice.
Yeah.
So if you went to the right side where the pivot is here on the scale and you mounted a detent ball, so it's on the outside.
Maybe that's the knife. Was it
And you had
that? It might have been that
this Mini Malice
the
feels to
truffles.
have,
I think it was the truffles.
this knife feels like it has detent. Sometimes I can't flip it.
That's just Civivi does a good job with their springs, but that's the problem right there.
But what if
With
you put a detent ball between the blade and the outside scale for button locks? Would that give you the feeling, or is that missing up the whole point of a detent? What I'm saying is you don't have any liner, no frame, but you do have tension between the scale on one side and the blade. So it seems like if you did a well-placed, thought-out detent ball in the scale and some kind of ramp system or some kind of,
I'm not sure how that would work because it has to be able to get back into the ball. And if it's just a hard, like if there's no give for the ball to kind of push out of the way, like that's the thing with the lock bar.
what if you had something inside the scale
It
that
has
was a little piece
it has
of plant?
technically spring tension that pushes the ball out and then drops it back in without you having to, shove it past. If you just had a ball that, you know what I mean? If it just fell and hit a ball that was stationary inside a titanium handle sticking out, it would just hit the edge of the ball and then you'd probably have to like shove it past it. You know what I'm saying?
We should probably just
You'd have to have a ball. You'd have to have one of those. You'd have to have one of those like you see with fidgets. They have. Let me show you. I think I have one here. I was gonna give this away tonight, so there's a good. excuse to get it out. So this is a little fidget. I call it the Pebble. I have no idea what they actually call it, but it slides on detent balls, basically. Has a detent in there that is on a spring, which is what I'm saying. If you used one of these, I burned this shut, so let me open it. Don't worry, I'm getting to a point here. So this, if you mounted one of these inside of a titanium handle, I think it would work. If that ball stuck out, right?
However far you had to do it for that
Right,
skate.
you would set it up, and there's actually a spring inside of here. So this ball, when you put pressure against it, it goes in.
Right. Kind of like
if you
kind of
cut
like
a hole in the frame to slot one of these in, then when the blade came shut, it would push that ball in a little bit and let it seat in, and then it would pop back into the detent hole. And then when you flicked it, obviously it would do the same thing, but it would give you the detent. So that would work. And then you just have to use, whatever as a normal lock. You'd have to have a
button lock
something
or
to
whatever.
lock it up.
I think it'd be something worth you and Colin looking into, but I think the bigger picture is we should all get away from button locks.
I just like a traditional lock bar, though. Like I'm not out to invent something crazy because I really don't want something crazy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I really liked the Malibu. I think it was because I was early in the knife game and it was one of my grails.
What knife?
The Malibu. It really didn't disappoint. I still have one.
But that's the thing here. You have the Demco 80-20, right?
Not a 20. I just got the 20.5. I messed up.
I'm saying as a knife, you have the Shark Lock, which is associated with the 80-20, 20.5, 20 Cub, whatever. Right now, of course, that new arcade knife came out, but whatever.
I've got it.
Is it's a knife that lock goes to, and that's cool. ProTech made the Malibu. The button lock should have fucking died right there. It should be ProTech makes the Malibu with the button lock. That's awesome. Or they make the Mordax and the Malibu, sure. But then everybody and their mom wanted to make a button lock, and they all half-assed it. I mean, look at the first one that came out was Civivi with their dumbass Civivi button lock Elementum that didn't even have a flipper on it. I mean, that's just the epitome of that. They just were like, we got to get a button lock out because people are all about this Malibu.
Got us the button lock dance, so we always have to be thankful for that.
It's just so frustrating because that's how it started, and then everybody made one, and then they just got shittier and shittier, and literally nobody has touched the Malibu. Like, there's not a single button lock knife. There's some, like, I will say, Civivi, Sencut, they do it better than anybody else at this point. But I'd still take a Malibu over any of those, or a Mordax over any of those. Just let ProTech
got a patent in their mechanism.
Button lock and stop trying to copy them. Like,
I wonder if ProTech patented some little part of their plunge that makes it different that no one can use. Like if they've got I guess it wouldn't stop Chinese companies.
What?
If ProTech has not a patent on the button lock, but a patent on what makes it unique.
Well, that's the problem. It's not something they invented, I don't think. They just, they I don't know, took their time with it, made sure they got it right. Now, people will argue that the Malibus have button stick, and that's the downside of that knife. And that's true, but that's how you get good lockup on a button lock. It's going to be sticky. So, you got to just deal with that. But I just don't like the button lock in general. I love the Malibu. It's a great knife. I'm always tempted to get another one. But I just don't want to see more and more button locks. Just frustrating. And right now, it's the same thing with crossbar locks. Everybody's fucking doing those now. And I just, every time I get a new knife and I'm like, oh, a new knife from where, like today I got one, I unboxed it. It was from Vosteed. They sent me a knife. And I was like, oh, this looks pretty cool. And then I opened the box and there was a fucking extra spring in there. And I went, motherfucker, we got another crossbar lock knife. You know, I don't know. It's just
Well,
frustrating.
it's new to them. And
Just make
they are
lighter
doing
locks.
some, I mean, I will say Vosteed's doing some innovative things with the I don't have the knife. It was the Mayhem. They must have stolen that, and it was somebody else's knife. The
No,
one that has
the Mayhem is a design by a custom maker that they collaborated with.
and they named it something different.
Oh, they named it Mayhem. Yeah, I don't know. And then they named it like
But that knife was a little
RSQ, whatever.
unique, right? It had a little bit. It was kind of a copy, but it was
Maybe CRKT had a Mayhem because they cease and desist everybody and their mom with knife names. Anytime you put out a knife that has that's the same as a CRKT knife, which they have a gajillion knives you've never fucking seen, they'll send you a fucking cease and desist. So anyway, this is the Dachshund from Vosteed, and I just talked a lot of shit. And honestly, this is one of the best crossbar lock knives that I've handled in a long time. And what I realized, I knew this. It's the reason why the bug out is good, which, by the way, Experienced Precision is right. It's the reason the bug out is good. It's all about the placement of the studs. And
exactly.
if you do a crossbar lock knife, really, it shouldn't have a hole in the blade. Like we tried it, we prototyped it with Kunwu on the growler. And it works. It's not terrible. It works, actually. But we had to get the strongest springs they had, and it just was enough to make it like, okay, we could do this. But if you put those studs as tucked away as you can, as close to the frame as you can, so that people have to fire it upward, you get what feels like a stronger detent doing that. And that's really the only way to do a crossbar lock knife.
Yeah, if you flip it out, you're working against
like
the
mechanism. Pulsar from Kunwu. It's just such a cool knife, but you have to flick it like this with the clothes hanger hole, and it just, no matter how strong you make that spring.
It's the most disappointing knife I've bought, and I've got magnets in it. Right. I love the cutting. I love the ergos. It is a womp womp.
But you can see it's still, even with there's magnets in there.
Yeah, dude, it's nothing.
Yeah.
Womp womp.
But yeah, this thing's really cool. Actually, they did a good job with this Dachshund. One thing I've noticed lately is nobody can get a filler tab that fucking comes out anymore. I feel like the last 4 knives I've had with filler tabs, I can't get them the fuck out of there to swap the clip, which is
they're double
really
threaded,
annoying.
and you can't do it because they're threaded on both sides.
No, because they cut it so tight in the titanium that you can't get it out. And then they put fucking oil on it, and the oil acts as like a suction, and it just does not want to come out. But yeah, this thing's cool. Titanium. And what's the steel on this? I just opened it tonight. M390. Yeah, if I could use this left-handed by flipping the clip, I'd be stoked because then I could really get a feel for it. But left-handed without the clip, I can't grab anything, and I'm just going to like cut myself or drop the knife.
I'm dealing with the same thing on my Mr. carbon fiber scales. One of my scales has a pivot collar, the stainless stuck into it, and there's no way to get it out without breaking the scales. And I've thought if I had some like reverse needle nose pliers that you could put in there and then spread out so they grab it on the, huh?
I have those. I tried it on this. It didn't work. Couldn't get it out. The way that I usually get them out is I shove a cloth in and I put it in tight enough that when I yank it out, it just pulls it out with it. Or you can kind of shove a Q-tip in there and try to, but nothing would work. I tried coming from the other side. I tried like I could get it to start to eke out, and then just
I'd
can't
rather
get it.
have a knife in 30 pieces with 2 pieces on the floor that I haven't found yet than have a fucking stuck screw.
There
Or
it is. Level on up. He was the one with the screws that were missing from the match.
But just on a comparison, this knife, the detent, this is the Padre, and I can get my towel, my big towel, with this frame lock is absolute freaking money. And every Django post, because I'm kind of tight with them, friends, every Django post, because I saw you reviewed it, why will you not offer it in a frame lock model? Your frame locks are amongst the best I've handled. Oh, we will. That's our plan. And I know they're not planning on doing it. But it's just like the big towel. I've got the X towel.
I'm jumping ahead, guys. Sorry.
And I've got the big towel.
Yeah, yo, Jimberfish, Gingerfish.
God, you're behind.
Yeah, the towel was amazing. The only thing wrong with that knife is the front flipper doesn't have enough jimping.
Right. And then you try the X towel and it just.
I never handled that, so I don't know, but.
Let me send it to you. Watch this.
That sounds cool.
Watch this.
What?
The X towel.
Yeah, I've handled a bunch of those. That one's the worst offender.
Oh, I thought you said you hadn't handled one. I was going to send it to you.
Yeah, no, I've handled like 1 million of those.
And why don't they do a back lock when they have? Because I wondered that on the Relative too. Why would you make an X towel and take away one of the methods of deployment? Does it get in the way of the axis lock?
You mean a flipper?
A flipper.
Because it's useless with the detent.
I got you. It wouldn't have enough oomph to get it pushed out.
I mean, you need a good detent for a flipper.
Speaking of Vosteed,
I don't have any button locks, man. I don't think I have a single one here right now.
Have you seen that yet, Lefty? The mink?
No, what is it?
This is a knife I picked up from Vosteed at Blade 2022. It was stuck in a Vosteed box because they didn't have a fixed blade. They didn't have a way to sheath it. And they let me take it with me. And I told them they should just do a Kydex sheath with no retention. I said, let people choose their own retention, but they did a little half tech lock. I got it right here. They put one of these on it, which is great. I mean, I'm not going to use it, but Nitro V, micarta, and dude, this is like an EDC slicer.
Yeah, it's not bad.
2 jimps, $63. And it's small. Like for you, it's probably, here's my flex knife.
That's your clone Evo?
Yeah, that's my clone Evo for Marco with Pro X Bill scales on it.
Nice. They're getting good with those clones.
They are. The clones are getting good, man. I've got.
Thanks, Ricky. Appreciate it, man.
A whole knife collection on clones.
Trim my stash after the live Thursday because Ben was like, you can trim that. And I was like, oh shit. Now I can feel my lip.
I found a new beard product that I'm getting into. I got the cream and I'm getting ready. It's expensive. I'm getting ready to get the shampoo and stuff. It's called Viking Warrior, I think. It's on Amazon.
Hell yeah, 5-door.
It's probably the highest. Let me find it. Because if you stay with the beard, which you should, let me go to my purchases.
That's great.
This stuff right here.
If it's not fidgety, I don't carry it, is what I always say. There you go, man. I love the Dachshund. Yeah, the Dachshund's cool. They hit me up the other day. Like, you want to check one out? I was like, yeah, sure. Send it. Usually they send me their budget shit. I don't get their good shit. But this one's nice.
See if you can click on this. You might not be able to. I don't have my chat open.
I
If
cut the
not, I
shit
will.
out of myself with the Django in that video.
Does
Right.
it have weak detent too? I mean, I can't imagine that it
It's a
wouldn't.
little. It's better. I
It's
showed it in
beautiful
the video.
knife.
It's definitely better. They worked on it, but still is what it is.
They're really leaning into that lock. People must like it.
What?
The bar lock.
Yeah, well, everybody does a fucking bar lock. Ebos are made by F and Grow. They probably are. I love it. They probably are.
So,
Warriors beard balm.
yeah, this is the stuff I bought. This is what I started with. It's got a really good smell.
$30 fucking dollars.
Dude, and it's a small thing, but let me show you what you got here. You've got these different
Fuck
flavors. Dude, you don't use a lot of it, but like you can get for $86, you
80.
can get there. You get a kit. You get a big thing of shampoo, conditioner, the balm, and the elixir, which I don't use the elixir. But they're a brand, and they're
You're getting
evidently on.
suckered here, bro.
Dude, you want me to send you some to try?
No, I don't want
These,
you to waste $30.
I'm not wasting $30. Do you like the
You could buy
balm?
another F and Grow.
I'd have to buy 2 of these. Do you like
You could
balm?
buy another F and Grow, or you could go F and Grow your hair.
Nah, you're funny, man. Or do you like balms,
God.
oils, shampoos, or conditioners?
What?
Look at these reviews. Do you like balms on your beard? Do you like oils, a little oil after you shower? Or do you like shampoo? Or do you like conditioner? Which do you use? Because the smell's going to get you, the way that it lathers up is going to get you, and the feeling's going to get you. I love just the balm. I even use it in my hair because it just smells so good.
I don't like smelly stuff on my
Dr.
hair.
Drew, dude, I like Stevie's balm. I'm a patchouli fan.
Not a bit. Yeah, if I was gonna use anybody's shit, it would be Stevie's. I've had it. I don't even know where I misplaced
Dude,
it.
they're
When we
very
moved,
light
I guess.
scents. You've got like all these different scents, and if you look at the profile, let me take you here. You'd have to get Jared to fucking translate it for you. And I love Jared.
Translate what?
The scent stuff. So like if you go to one of these, like this one.
No, Ricky, we sell the hats though. I got to do a drop. I got 30 of them made in a couple of different colors. They're all like black colors, but I got to do the drop. But if you want one, hit me up. If anybody's trying to buy a Divo hat, hit me up. I'll just sell them to you so I don't have to do the drop.
So here
I just didn't want to do a drop around Christmas. I'm just kind of feeling burnt out. I don't want to deal with a drop right now. But I'll ship out, 1 or 2 here and there. They're $30 though. So just so you know.
But here are your flavors right here.
That's so weird. You guys asked the same question? That's creepy, honestly. Are you guys on the same account or something? What's going on here, Ricky?
Shenanigans.
Dude, man, you and
I'm
this
trying to here the profiles right here. Can you see that?
what do you mean the profiles?
They're like 8 different types. They're all the same in the creaminess. They're all the same, but they're just different scents.
Dude,
and
this really feels like they're suckering you, man.
I don't have any links.
This Viking shit is really gay, is all I'm saying.
Vikings are the least of the gay.
No, they're literally the gayest. They're the ones who want you to think they're manly because they're gay. That's exactly what this is right here.
The Viking Storm's good if you like patchouli.
Hey, we're super manly Vikings. Now put on our fucking mascara.
I think you'd like the Alphams Forest. I'm going to send you one.
Get out of here with your Viking.
You need to tell me which looks like your profile, and you're just going to get a random one.
My profile?
Read these scents.
Oh my god!
And say this one looks like shit. This one looks the least shitty.
They all sound very similar to me.
That's why you'd have to have needs break down how the scent breaks down.
I mean, I can read them. I know what they say. Why am I picking one?
Because I'm going to send it to you. to try.
I don't want you to spend $40 on me.
It's an investment in your fucking beard, so you won't shave it. I'm being a friend. Which
You already
flavor
got
you
me
want?
hooked up with the soap, the wash, and the conditioner. I use it
And
every day in the
I've
shower.
upgraded my game. I've leveled up. I'm trying to bring you with me.
All right, give me you know what? I like Ass Hair's Triumph. Give me that ass hair. All right, right there.
Ass Hair's Triumph. Sweet.
Ass
Yep.
Hair's
Yep. Yep.
Triumph.
Yep. 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 And you want to try shampoo? Do you want to
It
try
says
balm?
sweet something will
Yep.
make your
I know
ass
what.
hairs. It'll make your ass hairs smell better.
I would recommend the balm unless you don't use it.
What? I don't even know what does that mean? You
A
put it
balm is
on.
like a light. When you open it up, it's kind of like a buttery cream. You put a little like daub in your hands and you
Nah,
rub it in and it makes it oily and then you just
nope,
rub it through your
I'm not
beard.
doing that because then I'm gonna
Okay.
get it on my hands and I gotta wash my
Yeah.
hands
All
after.
right. Shampoo. It is. We're good. Go back. Let me stop
Yeah,
sharing.
shampoo or conditioner, one or the other.
Well, yeah, I'll get you a tool pack.
Maybe the conditioner because that's the
No, you want to
key.
get them both. You got to go
Conditioner
with
is the key, I think.
you got to go with the
Beard.
yeah. Well, good beard shampoo is the way to go. I'm going to get you the beard struggle, the wash and conditioner bundle.
You're gonna
Dude,
spend
it's
like
got
$80
5-star
on that, dude.
ratings. I started researching this and the ratings and the reviews.
That's
I was
what I
like,
use
fuck
on
it.
my hair, yeah, head and
What am
shoulders.
I going to do? I'm going to try it. What's the worst that can happen? And I was like, I like this shit. And we said we were going to go with the Triumph, Ashier's Triumph,
Nice, Jim.
Asser's Triumph.
Ass hairs triumph. My ass hairs triumph over everything.
It did have Triumph in
Dingleberries,
the name, right?
diarrhea, everything. I have birds nested in my beard. The balm irritates them.
Check out. I'm not still sharing my screen, am
For
I?
$30, I could buy beard balm.
No,
Yep.
you got beard balm on the way, brother.
All right.
Let's see.
I think. Thank you. I think.
No, I mean, just try it
Congrats
out.
on the
If you don't
last
like it,
y'all
I
keep
sent you
putting out
soap
the
that you
heat.
fucking hated.
Thank you, Luke. Thank you, sir.
Text me your
Everybody go
address.
pick
I
up a
thought I had it.
Clydesdale. Should sell those out. Sell out the Clydesdales, baby. Check out my video from, was that yesterday or today? My rapid review video. I talked about the Clydesdale for like 20 minutes.
I have not picked up a Clydesdale yet. I feel like
Dude, pick one up right now.
I know.
Trust me.
I know.
Go do it. 125, dude.
Private message me or text me your new address. I'm in no rush. I've got it open. I just need your where you are or where you get shit mailed, your PO box or whatever.
All right.
It's just for 2 bottles of shampoo
I'll send you.
or shampoo and conditioner.
I'll just send it to you now. So
M-Bomb, thank you. I got your message today. I was up at Dad's and I couldn't chat back to you.
Oh, it's sent it? That's gay. You know, that's one thing they need to fix on all right, I sent you. That's one thing they need to fix on computers like that. When you hit enter, it should give you the space, you know? It shouldn't send the message. There should be a way to do. Is there a way? You guys tell me. I'm you know how when you hit enter on a keyboard, it'll just I want to go to the next line, right? Like I want to put my name, then my street address, then the city, and when you hit enter, it'll just send the message. Is there a way to get it to skip without having to hold down space for an hour? And then that doesn't work because it's like, oh, you're not allowed to go down a line.
No, I hadn't been able. I mean, I've still
Maybe is it like shift space? Maybe I've never tried that, but on a cell phone, I don't have a shift button. I don't think so.
Are you a front door leave it at guy? It's asking me or garage or no
Long gay boys.
Do you have a front door?
Is this a sexual question?
No, it's just what they're
Oh.
asking me. Where should we leave it? Should we leave it the front door?
Yes, I have a front door.
All right, I thought so.
I'll buy it, but send it to Lefty. He needs to maintain that beard. You guys are all about the beard maintaining. My problem with the balms and shit is I don't take the time to do that. Like I take the shower, I'll do the beard wash and the conditioner in the shower, and then dude, I literally get out when I'm like putting my clothes on, my beard's still like dripping water down. Like I don't want to I don't have that with the kid and everything and 8,000 jobs. Like I just don't have time to stop, wait till it's dry, then put shit in my fucking beard and then wash my hands. Like I'm rushing to whatever the fuck I'm doing and I'm always late. So I don't know.
I had you in here, but I just had the wrong address.
Yeah, people keep sending shit to my old address, and the lady has to keep emailing or messaging me like, "Hey, I got another package." I'm like, "God damn it, they're not forwarding anything." I want to
It's
go
hit and
live
miss.
with Javon so he buys me shit.
Hey, it's all in love, guys. I'm just trying to help a brother's beard.
Yeah, exactly. Ass hairs triumph.
All right, setting my shipping address. Let me check that.
Paint bomb.
2329, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, exactly. My beard's too short for bomb.
Really, what balm does, and I know it also helps style your beard, but it conditions the skin under it. So if you get itchiness, the oils and the balms, from my experiences, which is limited, seem to condition the skin.
Yeah, I don't really think I need bread bomb, bro. Probably right about that experience. Bread bomb would be a bad idea. Yeah, I know what you mean, I guess. I already got like fucking white hairs and shit, dude. I think those days are gone already.
Embrace the white, man. The crazy chick I was with for 4 years had
Casey.
jet black
Cease and
Kat
desisted
Von D
me,
hair.
and I don't even make knives.
5-door. Don't do that. My daughter's got a Sephora list.
That's great.
But when I get into the makeup game and start my channel, I'll make sure she has discount codes.
What is a Vex? I think he's trying to say Kev's. Because I've seen him say Vex before. And I'm thinking it's like his autocorrect for Kev. Is that what that is, Ricky? Because I've seen it a bunch of times now. So I think it's your phone literally just autocorrecting Kev to Vex. That's my theory on this. Because for a while I've been like, who the fuck is Vex that he's always talking about?
Did I tell you about my secondhand Jager and what I went through to try to make it the way it
Oh,
was?
yeah. Who bought one? I got one yesterday. I wasn't gonna.
I didn't get a V3. I almost
convinced
got a
myself.
V2.
I convinced myself that because he did it as a bolster lock now that I
Which
should
ones you
try
get,
it.
carbon fiber or frag? Or just the
Yeah,
black
well,
that got yours?
the only one that has the bolster lock are the inlay ones. So I got the American Edge one with the gecko carbon fiber or camo carbon. And it has a bolster lock. So I'm like, as a lefty, I guess I should support that, you know.
And it's one of your favorite knives, dude.
But I also grew out of it a little bit. I don't know. I'm weird like that. Here's
I
the
am
one I got.
too,
Let's see if they have it still. I don't know
but when
how
I
well
carry
these
it,
sold. Oh,
I
I guess
fall
they
back in
sold
love
out.
with it.
That was fast. It's weird that they just take it off the website though.
Go to Knife Joy, see if they still have those $560 ones. Crane's Cutlery had some
I
nice
keep hearing
ones.
that this is a good knife too, the Corvus, but I
Yeah, it
haven't
looks
handled
good.
one.
It's got a similar pivot that
I haven't handled one. But the prices I paid $3.99. I think I had a coupon because it was my first time ordering from these guys.
that was the base price, I think, for
It was like $3.99 retail for that Jaeger. That's crazy. I swear they were $3.30 last time. And maybe
I want to say that
$3.50 with inlay or something. Where do you want me to go?
I was going to say, go to Knife Joy and search Jager.
I thought you were going to say go to ulta.com. So we can
No,
look up makeup next.
you laugh.
Uh,
When I move out to the John Starr Yak Ranch.
Please, no, for the love of
So
God.
theirs is like, I guess, Moku tie is what makes it so expensive.
So here's the thing, guys. There's nothing different here.
But it's the top two. They're the only ones,
But
right?
that's what frustrates me. Like, this is the last run, and this is this run. The pivot is different. That's it. That's all we changed from one run to the next.
But you're saying the ones with the inlays have a bolster?
Yeah, so that's why that's the one thing
Try
here.
Crane's Cutlery. I think theirs had inlays.
Smoky Mountain has one.
It's Frag. So I was
Come
looking
on.
at it. That's the one I was going to get.
No, they have a. Oh, was it DLT then? Sorry.
Yeah, DLT.
Maybe somebody didn't take it off their website. It's super annoying.
And they didn't have the flipperless at Smoky Mountain Knives, which is what I want.
That's the other thing. I didn't even pay attention to that because last time they usually had everybody had flipper and non-flipper. This time it's like they got to choose, I guess. So this is the one I got.
It was some had flipper, or some of the stores you could choose. You could buy one or the other, and some only had the flipper model. I noticed that.
This is totally different than what you have. Look at yours.
Yeah. I mean, mine's the
hold it up. Let me do this. Hold on a second. Let me figure this out. Can I
flip it over? There you go.
There. Wait, I want to do this, but put you.
That looks like more of an inset liner lock.
Why can't I do this with your face? That's annoying. That was really annoying, honestly.
You can tell what it is, though.
I know, it's just stupid that I can't do that. No, come on. Wait, now, is that it down in the corner? Let me get Ricky out here. God damn it, Ricky. I want this, but I want you instead of me. So what I got to do is remove myself. So here.
Yeah. So let me turn it the same way. Whoops. It would help if I face it towards the camera. So see how mine's got the exposed frame lock with the external milling? This has the external milling, but it looks like a recessed frame lock with that scale over it.
Yeah, so we'll see. It still has a good bit exposed, so I'm not sure it's going to work lefty as good. But even the ones that were frame locks, I was able to flick pretty well. But
I didn't see any exposed on that. To me, it looked like a solid carbon fiber over the inset frame lock. Go back to the picture.
You can literally see the frame lock right here.
Behind the scale, right?
No, right here, dude. Look at my mouse.
The metal color thing.
Look where it's exposed right here.
Correct. But isn't that sitting behind the proud scale, which would keep your hand away from it?
No. Well, when it's locked up, it's going to be right there. See? So your thumb could land right on that. Yes. Hopefully, the way it works, your thumb will ride across this, and hopefully it'll keep the pressure on the carbon fiber and not on the, but it's possible that you'll also still put pressure here. Depends on how it ergonomically lines up in your hand. It's just always a crapshoot.
So thank God I didn't know that there was a bolster lock. But what I did is I waited forever because this was supposed to ship with black hardware, black backspacer, and a black clip because it was an EDC Specialties model. I bought it from a guy who bought two and decided he didn't want this one, sold it to me. And then he called me about 4 months later and said, hey, I was contacted by Brian Brown and they're offering to send out the black kits if you want it. And I was like, sure, why not? And I'm sure he forgot or I forgot or something, never came around. So about a month ago, I happened to be on Brian Brown's site and saw that he had hardware kits in black. The only piece he didn't have was the backspacer. So I kind of put it together and I wasn't exactly sure how many screws to get. So I sent him an email and just say, hey, Brian, I missed out, my own fault for getting the black kit. I know you don't have black back spacers, but
He
what
meant
would
the
I need?
video, Luke. He meant his video is shorter than my video, probably.
And I was like, so what would I have to buy to get just the black hardware that's available? And he gave me a code, and I went to check out, and everything was in there except for the back spacer with a 0 charge and like $6 for shipping, which I thought was a solid. So it came in, and I was going to leave on the stonewash clip and the back spacer, but it looked funky because it's got a black blade. So I was rolling for about a week without a black back spacer. And then when the V3 started getting closer, I went back to his site, and he had his Xert clip, pivot collar, and back spacer on sale. Wasn't cheap, it was like $85. But I bought it.
Thank you,
Like
Mike.
an idiot.
My
And now
buddy Mike has provided us with the pictures of the knife. This is the one I got.
oh, dude, is that what kind of? That's toxic carbon fiber, right?
This is camo carbon, and it's the Gecko camo carbon.
So I see no issue of putting pressure on that lock bar because of that scale, unless I'm just totally missing something. Is the grind the same on the blade, or is it more aggressive?
What?
Is the grind more
Yeah, it's
aggressive?
just it's a hollow grind with the belt satin.
But I mean, versus the V2, is there any difference there that you're aware of?
No, I don't think anything's different except the pivot and the bolster lock thing. And now I'm noticing there's that random fucking screw in the middle of the scale that looks kind of gross.
Back here towards the back,
What is that?
is there a reversible clip possibly?
No.
Are you sure?
Look at the location of that screw, dude. If the
Right,
clip
but if it
reverse-
connects from the inside and then it goes down
Look-
so it doesn't run. Yeah, you're right. It wouldn't cover anything. You're right.
I think it's because he didn't glue them this time, maybe. And on this side, that screw is under the clip, so you can't see it, maybe.
Man, it should be black, shouldn't it?
Yeah, a black screw would look way better, but just the fact that it's there is really weird to me. I much prefer the glued in ones. I'm fine with them being glued in, but
Did you get the flipperless or did you get the
man,
flipper?
that's ugly. They only had this.
The flipperless?
Yeah, they didn't have another option.
Well, if you catch and release it, let me know.
I think you might be the first one to ask, so okay.
I mean, I'm not, like I said, somebody that's loving it, looking for it, I've got one. I'm just a fucking addict. What else is I going to show you cool?
Lefty and a dyslexic racist.
Have I shown you my Sawtooth grinds?
Vex is the one with the beard.
That's that cheap Tucson.
Oh, okay, that looks good. It looks like a Spartan.
Dude, he not only hollow ground it, listen to this.
I can't hear anything.
You can't hear it click.
Your
But he
your
not only
keyboard
hollow
does,
ground
or
it,
your microphone does that thing.
he left the point.
Yeah, I'll check it out, Steve. But send it after the holidays. I don't want it to get lost.
Don't say that. I've got a Strider in Nebraska. Watch this, Kevin. I haven't even put an edge on it. It's so thin.
Nice.
If
Yeah,
you've
I'm
heard
sure.
it sounds like tin.
That's
and
from
what-
Satu.
Yeah, and what I love about what he does, I don't know if you can see his plunge grinds. See how far back they go? He did my 4Max and my 8015 too. I'm getting ready to send him a Hinderer and a Pina. But just, and he's like, it's practice for me. He like thanks me for sending him knives to play with and trusting him. Satu Dave.
Dave is the man.
Dude, he's a master machinist. I mean, that guy, I'm like, you don't need practice. You need to decide what you want to do. I said, let me pay you. He's like, no.
So Steve says this is the best one. That is pretty sexy.
Now, what is it?
Accents and everything. Blasted handle and then hand satin. It was pretty nice, but $515. Oof.
I'd have to at least have 3.5 minutes with Coco for that price.
It looks like the Zerk is polished.
I don't like the
Which is
flipper
nice.
tab.
Last time it was all blasted, I think. I prefer blasted, but polished is cool. Zerk is very
Thomas, have you not gotten it yet? I'm gonna pull it right
oxidized.
now.
Zerk like that is very resistant to scratching and stuff. So that's good. I had a CWF micro click and polished Zerk. I carried that thing for 6 or 8 months. Didn't have a single fucking mark on it. Or maybe it had one from when I dropped it, but like normal, I had a titanium one, same finish, and it was destroyed. Steve knows, he has it. And the Zerk one just held up extremely well.
Hey, Thomas, I've had stuff coming in late too, but it says as of December 16th, it was moving and it left Evansville on the 14th. Indiana, what I found out is they stay in the sorting facilities for a lot longer than they used to. I don't know if it's the holidays or what, but I'll keep an eye on it and let me know if for some reason it doesn't show up.
I always
I've had a
forget
couple from
St. Nick's
Canada come
exists.
back.
That's
Who makes
nice.
the Jager? I think Riot makes the Jager, or they used to.
Yes, Riot makes the Jager. That is a sexy looking knife, and with
That's
that black
very pretty. Is
screw,
that like
looks,
peppermint? What do they call that color? Red dark matter?
yeah, it's just red dark matter. It looks way better with that black screw there. And wait, what?
And there's not even black there for it to
That
cover.
screw wasn't there on the other one, right?
Yeah, I think it was. You just couldn't see it because it was on. Go back to that other one. It was on yellow carbon fiber. It was there.
Nope, not there.
I don't see it. You're not sharing it.
I know. I'm just telling you, it's not there.
Then they photoshopped it out because they would not have a screw on one model and not the other. That makes no sense.
So one of them has it and isn't showing it.
Zoom on that.
Hold on. There. Hold on.
I can look at the carbon fiber and see if it's been accidentally photoshopped.
Let me stop sharing. Jesus. Sorry. I'm just doxing the shit out of myself.
Dude, we need to start streaming too. I'm gonna stream Friday night to Instagram and just see what happens. It was so annoying because I kept getting notifications from Maddie and Stevie, and they were live the whole time, but like every 10 minutes. Bloop. So I know it's actually shaking people out of the trees. They're probably just like, I'll never watch that fucking channel.
Well, here's my problem with doing it on Instagram is they're gonna fucking shut my account down the next day. Because if we do what we're doing right now on an Instagram live, they're gonna fucking shut us down.
Well,
I've said the word gay like 12 times.
But this is my thought.
That'll insta ban me.
You spend 15 minutes.
No screw. See?
You have a short zoom in. You do a short 15. I think it's been taken out, dude. Is what I'm telling you.
Zoom in? I can see it perfectly. There's nothing there, dude.
But if it's been photoshopped out, they would just match the carbon fiber.
There's no way they would Photoshop it out because that would just make people.
Okay,
nice
designer.
Photoshop this one out.
Why would they say we're going to be efficient and we're going to have one that looks identical with 2 screws and one with 1 for whatever reason? Why would that ever happen?
My guess is maybe they're renders. No, that's what it is. This is a render. That's what it is. Okay. So this one from St. Nick's is a rendering. The one from American Edge is an actual picture of the knife.
So there you go. I mean, at least that's logic that tells me that it's.
This probably isn't there on the St. Nick's one in real life.
So that's probably where your carbon fiber will pull.
But if I'm being honest, it looks better with it there.
Balanced out.
Because it's kind of like it matches. You know what I mean? I don't know why that makes sense to me. But then why isn't there one here? Because like what the fuck?
It
So I
makes no
think it's
sense.
just a bad rendering or whatever.
Well, they're trying to put together marketing materials before the knives are ever at a proto stage. So it's tough to do. You've got to use a little creative interpretation.
I'm skipping ahead, guys. Sorry, I know I'm behind and whatever.
Yeah, Crane Cutlery's version, Steve, is, I mean, if you want the dam steel and tits, go check it out.
Let's see. Zirconium is hard AF. Yeah, it's hard once you oxidize it. Once you put that black layer on it, it's hard as fuck. Before that, it's actually pretty soft.
Yeah, NC Blade is sweet too, crispy critter. I saw it today.
Well, it does. Yeah, it doesn't. It's very malleable, but it doesn't have a lot of spring. So
What I noticed,
you'll end up having to tweak it a lot. I had one actually. I had
what
a
I
certain
noticed is my Zerk clip, I get a little of that rattle that you hate. You know, where it gets just a little bit of rattle on the scale from the clip, where I don't get that on the black titanium.
it's just
Needs to be bent or
yeah,
whatever.
it's so easy, dude. You can do it
I
with
know
the
it
Jager,
is.
you can do it by hand. Is it free, M-Bomb? If you want to send me some free jerky, that's cool.
Howdy, Leland.
But I'm good right now. Probably still
Ryan, I
all
think
renders.
several
No,
others are nipping at
no,
their
because they
heels.
shipped mine, dude. American Edge shipped mine. They didn't do a pre-order. I think St. Nick's did a pre-order. Am I
And
wrong
the
on
only
that?
reason they do that, because I know Donnie, the one who sold me my Jaeger, who's their buyer, is to kind of get a gauge on how many they're going to move.
Maybe
They
it
don't
was
do
a
a
pre-order.
pre-order necessarily to get.
Right. It's totally a valid reason to do a pre-order. That's one reason we did it on the Stout V2 because we want to make sure we're not over ordering.
Right. Test the demand. You
Yes,
could
we're
always
checking
order
out
more.
Jaegers. Good thing you have names on all your contacts. Exactly.
Josh, I think Riot's really good. I picked up and I released it, but it was a Cybertrix from Reich. Who is it from? Who makes the Microtex? Anyway, it had no external hardware. I didn't take it apart, but I watched Nick Shabazz's video taking it apart. And to me, it was kind of next level construction. The blade was perfectly centered. The action felt different than anything I'd ever felt. Have you tried one of those, Lefty?
I
A
ordered.
Cybertrix?
Yeah, I did a video on one of them. It's a cool knife.
But I mean, in terms of manufacturing prowess, wouldn't you say that Reich or
Flowers.
whoever makes that is up there with Riot,
It's Reich.
Reich, whoever?
Yeah,
But
they
don't
do
you
a
think
really good job. I don't think that knife is as nice as people make it seem. It's really just it's a kind of a cool way to put the scales on with that back, you know,
it's a cool design?
backspacer. But once you take that off and take the scales off, it's just a
It's a
knife,
regular knife,
and
right?
it's
And
actually kind of thin
skin it.
under there. So it's really not the best, most
I'm
durable
not
type of
saying
construction.
that. What I'm saying is
But yeah,
the
Reich is up there. They
the
tend to suck
design
a
is so
defense,
out
though.
there, and they were able to execute on the design, which kind of takes me to a what else can they do? I mean, I've seen a lot of their really wild stuff that doesn't appeal to me, but I can't help but notice that there's a lot of really intense machining going on there.
I'm guessing the Crane's Cutlery one has all Moku tie because that's all they ever do.
And look at the one on the right. I think it's Stem Steel, or is that two?
Yeah, but that's what they do. They do Zirku tie on everything.
And what is Zircon? Is it
And
a
that's not
metal?
bad. 525. I mean, that's a lot cheaper than that Zerk one. Or I mean,
Was
10
Zircon
bucks,
a type of
$9
metal,
more, and you get
or is
all
it
Moku tie
made?
or Zirku tie. Sorry, what were you asking?
Is Zircon a type of element, or is it made?
it's made. Zircuti is so Damascus is where you take titanium and you basically make Damascus out of it. So it's the same thing like with Damascus, you take different
types
steels and put them together, and that turns it into Damascus. It's pattern welded steel turns it into Damascus. Same process, but you're using titanium is how you make Damascus. Then if you add zirconium to the mix, you get zircuti.
Okay.
And they also call it dark. I think they call it dark tie, and then black Damascus is the same thing. The knife I was carrying today is my Sparrow Knife Co. Custom Strix, and this has he called it black Damascus, but it's zircuti, same thing. So it's Damascus, and then you add in zirconium, and that's how you get zircuti.
And you use the same Damascus-y type process for the backspacers, which justifies to me the price point a little bit more.
For what?
For like, well, LeftyEDC, I oogle over there either Damascus or whatever they are, the clips in the backspacer. I think for the Ronin, but I just haven't been. Yeah, I just haven't been able to justify doing it. Right?
How much is it?
I want to say it's $2.99.
I can tell you from experience that Bestech is way more expensive when it comes to that stuff than QSP is. For the relative, what model? Like, what am I looking at?
I would say it was on the Ronin, but I don't remember exactly.
Oh, the Ronin, okay.
Yeah, see, it's on one of those. It's the one that says starting at like $2.99, where most of them say starting a lot higher. Maybe it's that.
So here's $89 for the clip alone.
And it might have been a different one because it was a clip and the backspacer together.
Yeah, that combo would be.
Would it be maybe the Nimble 2?
So from 89, from 125.
Yeah, it's from 125. Maybe that's what it is, 125.
Zircuti kit 120. That's a great price for all that Zircuti for 125. So I'm saying that's what he's selling this for. And QSP made these. If this was the relative, he'd have to sell this whole kit for at least $200.
And I can see that.
It's because of what, like when we did the backspacers for the Stout, QSP made them. We could sell those for, I think we sold them for $35. When we did backspacers for the Buzz, we had to sell the Zircuti ones for like $75 because of what Bestech was charging us. They were charging us $50 for a backspacer.
I'm not knocking the fact that they're not priced fairly. It's just like when I got this early just anodized kit that was cheap, I kind of bummed out because my little backspacer didn't have the number, which means nothing, right? But I thought it was kind of cool because it added color. But the Zircuti, I haven't made the leap yet to Zircuti. I did make the Zirc leap on my Jager, which was crazy, $99.
Yeah, I'd say Riyadh's probably still the best. It seems like they've turned a corner a bit, and they're doing better again. They had a little bit of a lull, I feel like, but apparently they moved factories or something, so maybe that had something to do with it. I did get some stuff in today or this week. I don't know what I've shown you guys, but I got a bunch more custom flashlights, and I got some knives. The Sparrow is ridiculous. Dude, this thing is fucking money. I love this thing.
It's a beautiful knife. 5-door, the Nimble T2s are fantastic. I want to say they're a different OEM, but Lefty probably knows. I thought they might have been Bestech.
All QSP. Nimbles are all QSP.
Maybe it's just the
they got better on the T2, I think.
Yeah, the detent feels a little snappier.
I got this in from Jim Skelton. This is his new model coming out. Damn, I already fucked this clip up. Coming out next week on the 22nd. It's called the Scaphoid, which it's a fixed blade he does, I believe, and he's turned into a folder with Tuya. I think they're going to be $350. Twill carbon fiber, S90B.
I think I'm checking one of those out. Open that up.
I don't know if you can see where I've been carrying this for 3 hours, and look at that clip. Holy shit. I got it good there. And it's a flipper. The D10 on this thing is money. And
Dude,
it
I
is
like that blade.
wild looking. I really like this knife. He did a great job on this. The Kaladin was really cool. This is fire.
Yeah, the Kaladin did not speak to me personally, but that does much more.
See, that's the thing. A lot of people didn't like that sort of hook
Close
thing
look.
on the Kaladin. I like that.
Close look.
Yeah, I liked that. But this is just, look at that blade check.
Steve Boro, if it was me, I would buy the Jager V3 before the after hours jack. But that's just me. I love my slip joint jack wolves.
That's tough,
The
man.
Jager is one of my top 5 knives. And it's old. I've got the V2.
I'm going to skip ahead again. Sorry.
What would you buy, Kevin?
So
If
you're
you could only buy
saying
one? The Jager 3
or this?
Yep.
I would go with the after hours because I know that I would carry this way more because of the size. It's still got basically the same blade length. This is 3.2 versus 3.3, I think, or 3.4 on the Jager. But the in-pocket carry is way more manageable on this. This weighs like 2 ounces. And it's also just
feels like a knife.
I don't know. It's just it's super fun to flip. You got the front flipper you can fuck with.
The fuller.
Yeah, you got the fuller. I don't know. You got some wild color options for both. It's a tricky one, man. I think that's why I'm, ending up having both. But I would
buy the Jager, and if you hate it, sell it to me.
I would go after.
Well, I wouldn't buy the Jack Wolf, and I love Ben and Jack Wolf.
Yeah, I think
Steve, that's a totally different deal. So if you've already got a Jager V2, it totally jumps to Kevin's side.
Oh, you have a Jager, then 100%.
100%. Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all.
Because they literally made almost no changes unless, the inlay one, I guess. If you're left-handed, I can see the argument. But this thing's fucking awesome, dude. Ben killed it. This is a knife I wanted from the moment the Gunslinger came out. I was like, they got to do a midnight. And they did it. And it's really good.
That green one went faster than I thought. I knew it was going to go fast.
What one?
The green, kind of translucent.
Yeah, I thought that would go last just because of how unique it was.
Fast. Dude, the purple last time was gone in no time. People love that stuff.
Yeah, I've been wrong lately. I thought with the Lush, the 80s would go last. I just figured it would be like a vocal minority situation, but no, people just
that influenced me too. I mean, looking at the Lush, and I didn't watch your video, but looking at the Lush and the Midnight side by side, I can see a little more value or a little more quality, I guess, in the Midnight, but not enough to justify $120
after hours.
Whatever.
It's definitely. I mean, you got to watch my video comparing them, but it's definitely.
I'm not to watch your videos. They make me buy shit.
So here you go. Drink water. So the Midnight blade is a little taller. Well, this is the after hours, but it's based on the Midnight, where the Feel Good is its own thing. But they are very similar. It's just a shorter style
of, what's up, buddy?
Of sheep's foot. If I grab the Midnight as well, I don't know if I can hold all three. I'll try.
While he tries to do that, I shipped you out today and had everything in the mailbox, and the post lady left a fucking letter in there and did not take any of my 4 packages out. So it'll go out Monday, buddy. Your tracking number's still good.
There you go. So you can see the after hours on top and the midnight on bottom are a little bit closer. It's a little bit, I guess, not shorter, but taller blade, where the feel good is very slim
0.
because it's like a pen knife. You know what I mean?
And it's S90V, right?
Which,
The latest, greatest.
yeah. Everything they've released this year is S90V. Everything last year was M390.
Don't get me wrong. I love what Ben's doing. I love the knives. I just know my limitations on being a knife addict, and I'm very proud of myself for so far only getting 2.
Hmm.
Will be member for 18 months. Welcome, brother.
Yo, yo. Thank you, brother. I don't know. They're very different knives, man. It's just, that's a tough comparison. You really just, it's not something you can really answer like Jaeger or this because they're
No,
different.
but it's not really. Yeah, that's a tough one. But when I look at the Lush and the Midnight, if that's what it's called,
Called
and
the
I just look
After
at
Hour.
me as a user, a casual user, the profiles seem very similar. The materials
Thanks, man.
basically very similar, and I'm stoked.
But yeah, this one, yeah. So there's like, if you bought a Lush and you were like, should I get the After Hours or the Jaeger? I'd be like, you should probably get the Jaeger because you have a Lush, which is similar to the After Hours. That then it kind of makes sense. But if you're just saying After Hours Jaeger, it's like it really comes down to you. Like, do you want to spend 400 or 350? Do you like
And what I
Divo camo
do,
carbon or do you like Kieranite? It's just if you put a gun in my head and said you got to pick one, I'd pick the After Hours. So I don't know.
play this weird game with myself about which fits best into my collection, which the answer is none because I don't need any knives. But I'll play that, which kind of fills a void in my soul more. And usually I can deduct down from that.
Yeah, it must be gifting, dude. I mean, if you didn't sign up, then that's the answer.
Good for
I
you,
went
Gears
Lush
Finder.
and Jaeger. Merry Christmas to me.
Dwayne,
What do you guys think of this one? The scaffold. I really love it.
I love it, but I probably don't love it for what it costs just because it's a flipper only. Even though I've bought several flipper onlys recently.
I was a little bit when I saw the 350, I was like, okay. Because his last one with Tuya was 255. So I don't know what they're both S90V. Maybe the dual grind and the extra inlay over here. It is a pretty wild inlay. Look at that.
Yeah, it doesn't look, I'm not
That's
knocking it.
probably what it is. It's the way they did the inlays and the contouring is really nice. It feels like a $350 knife, so that's not a problem.
Since
Um,
I've gotten kind of away from some of the budget knives and I don't think about them more, but I do in a little ways, I'll still buy ridiculous expensive shit, but it has to somehow speak to me and not speak to me like a Michael Jackson video that speaks to everybody back in the day. I just got to kind of see something in it that makes me think, okay. And usually
looks
it's
like
not at all logical, has nothing to do with use case.
looks like he had them do the aluminum oxide blast too, like the Jack Wolves have that darker blast, which
It
does
looks
mark up
great.
a lot easier, like you can see there. But
I actually like the little swoop-de-doo on the back end by the clip where the blade goes in, that little weird swoop.
yeah, well,
I like that.
that's for your pinky to rest on. That's what that's for.
So how does that work out? Do you know, like, do they have a 10-90 split, 20-80, or is it just all over the board? It depends on whatever they worked out
Should I get
between
the
Jen and
after
two.
hours or Lush? Well, the Lush is sold out, so I would get the after hours. I mean, I did a video sort of comparing them. I tried to avoid, directly comparing them because this is $350 and the Lush is $199, so it's kind of like it's a little bit apples to oranges. But obviously, I love them both. It's
But the
hard to say.
materials are pretty similar. I mean, it's not apples to oranges like the Mash B2 and the Buzz. Think
I
about it.
mean, it's basically the same.
You've got
It's
different,
basically $150 difference, and they look similar. So yeah, that's exactly the same thing.
but different blade steel.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm not saying it's negative in either way. I'm just saying for the consumer who's looking at both of them, it was an easy decision for me. Probably because I've been so irresponsible in the last 2 weeks that there was not much of a choice in the matter.
I would just get both. That's what I would do. But I would you can't get a Lush, so I would tell you to get the after hours.
I would say find one of the last nips in Jack Sparrow or whatever it's called. I think they're at Knife Center, right? Still?
Knife Center never had them.
Not Knife Center, Knife Nacelle.
Nafcel still has those?
I thought they had one or two in stock because I
Damn.
almost bought one and I decided that would be just fucking ridiculous. Let me see.
Nice. That's crazy if they do. I know White Mountain has the Stonewall
Titanium.
tips. I like the scaffold a lot. Yeah, I think it's sick.
I saw a title for one of Tri-State's videos that made me wonder if he's real or not, talking about loving the attention to design knife that he tried out.
I think it's a Tanto, dude. I would call it a Tanto for sure. But it's like a
Yes.
spear. It's like a spear Tanto. It's really cool. I love this blade shape. The more I've had this knife, I opened it, a couple hours ago. The more I love it. It's got really good action. It carries well. The flipper's really good. It's got a great detent. So, yeah, this is a sick knife.
No, the nips are gone.
Yeah, I would have been surprised, but
It was Nacelle that had them, right?
they had some, yeah, but it wasn't a lot. Yeah, blacked out scaffold would be dope. I think they only did one version.
So what price range is that knife in the year that looks like a custom, but I think it's a production, that kind of brown one you've got?
You're like 20 minutes behind, 30 minutes behind. No, that's not what I was saying. Nah, they're not identical, that's for sure. But it's just a darker blast than normal. They had a bunch of stuff come out. They had the Mutt. I actually have one here. It just came back from pass around. They had the Mutt. They had the Blackbeard. They had the one that was awesome that Dave Warren designed. Well, he designed this as well, but
The Envy, not the Envy. Was it the Envy?
well, he
The
designed
Fragile?
those, but it came out this year. It was Wrath, the Wrath. Love that.
Yes.
And then that would have been in my Knife of the Year stuff if I had it, but it's in pass around right now. And then they're doing all the Jim Skelton stuff. So the Kaladin and the Scaphoid now. They just dropped the Kaladin V2. So you just gotta follow them. They don't sell through traditional dealers, really. I think they sell to Blade HQ, and that's it.
Bit. I think you nailed it. I think you uncovered the secret.
Who?
Bit.
To you, Big Belly. No, man, they've released like 20 knives since then.
But the Big Belly's one of my favorites. I
It
still
is a
got.
good one.
And Tri-State whined about his not holding an edge. Mine's sharpened like a freaking beast.
Yeah.
And the N390 felt good.
I mostly wanted to watch Kev chill out for himself. Yeah. Well, you definitely don't understand me then. If showing you a knife is chilling out, then sure. But if you expect me to sit here and tell you to buy my knife, probably not going to happen.
Tell you something on a darker side.
Yeah, you just got to follow them. You know?
Have you ever watched that
Yes,
YouTube
they're
channel
a
called
rat. That
Something
knife is
Donut?
fucking amazing. It's a really good one.
Not Crispy Donut, but it's a guy who's an ex-cop who shows released body cam footage.
No.
Have you seen that channel? I'll put it up here. But anyway, he did one yesterday about a lady who was on meth coming at an officer with a knife, and the officer had to shoot her because his partner didn't tase her like he was supposed to. And they were talking about people being upset because you can't do much damage with a knife. And they had this surveillance video of this fight in the street. And this guy had a little knife, like small as my little knife in my fixed blade. And he's holding it, and they're like all standing off. And he walks up to this guy, just gives him a little poke. It doesn't even look like a punch. And then they kind of separate. And about a minute later, the one dude falls down and fucking bleeds out. They had to like block it all out because just one little poke got him right in the neck.
Donut operator?
I think that's what it's called. Let me find it. Yeah, I think you're right, David. And he's pretty funny, but he's definitely got.
I've never heard of him.
He does a lot of here's the one I was just talking about with a knife attack. He's got 2 channels, but this is the one that'll get you to his main channel, and then he's got an uncensored channel.
Dude, this thing is fucking smooth as shit.
And every now and then he's got an interesting personality.
It's like a fucking spear right there.
I did a video, I don't know if it's posted yet, on Tontos, and they are great piercers. I mean, if you think about it, I guess that's what it's made for, right? To pierce at the end of the day.
Yeah. And then you just have, I mean, you have a secondary tip to do whatever you'd want to do. I mean, but
Let me show this and I'll mute it.
what else did I get in? I showed you guys the knives from Lewis. These are fucking amazing.
What's that?
The Halt.
That is pretty. I don't like the carbon though. That's just my color that I'm just not into.
What?
The camo carbon or whatever it's
This
called.
is Mars Valley Fat Carbon, which is awesome.
That red, whatever it is.
There's a purple one. This one's dropping in January. He's doing a pre-order on the Halt.
What value range are those?
$275, best tech made, Magna Cut, titanium, fat carbon. So really good value range. Here's my Carta. Stonewash my Carta.
Kind of over my Carta.
Yep, me too. Don't even do micarta anymore on our knives. At least
I
for
think
the
it's got
time being.
these.
At least for the time being. Is that my lush? I didn't even show a lush, did I? I didn't show. Oh, I did when I did my little fake comparison when Ant asked which one he should buy for no reason. Because he's funny. According to him, he's funny. Because I don't have a sense of humor now.
Which one, Experience
my
Precision?
beard.
The one Lefty just held up?
Because your joke was fucking hilarious.
What was the last knife you held up, Lefty? Experience Precision's asking.
Fuck me. The scaphoid? No,
I think it was the one with the hole in it.
The halt. Hold on. This one. There's the red, the micarta, and of course I'm just gonna cover it up so you can't fucking see it. Mars Valley.
The lushes are sold out. I think there'll be some at Blade.
There you go. Ugh.
And I bet there'll be another order. I can't vouch for that.
I also got this fucking thing in. Striga. Can't even flip the fucking thing. Oh, there it goes. That's not bad, actually, once you get it.
Is that an Urban EDC? What is that?
Yeah, they sent it to me. It's called the Matzi.
Looks like a very non-ergonomical small knife.
This one is from Addicted to Knives, ATK Lewis. It's AT Knives Halt, HALT. He has a website, atknives.net. If anybody wants to link it. You're going to see it a lot more in the next couple of weeks, hopefully, because we're going to send these out to, I think, Neves and some other people. Hopefully get him some exposure so he can get that pre-order funded, because I really think this model needs to come to life. This thing is fantastic.
Yeah, you need to do anything you can to help Neves.
But yeah, this is the Striga from Matzi. And the reason I think it's okay is because it's like the first model from them that I feel like is kind of original. Although it kind of does look like the looks like that Brian Brown knife, the Dutchman.
Is it in the 250 range, more or less?
What?
What's the price point range?
This thing?
Yeah.
I have no idea. We can look it up.
It doesn't matter. I just didn't know if it was in the 200 range, 300 range.
I'm guessing it's like 3.
David, have a great night, buddy.
Oh, it's sold out. $215, not bad. So the reason I said what I said is I feel like I don't know this company. They're from Poland, I think. But like, so you look at this model and then you look at the Dutchman. Which, all right, so look at this. And then look at this.
I look like the same knife to me.
And then, and this is the first one I felt like actually looks sort of original. If you look at their Basilisk model, to me, it's like a Vero.
Cubist.
Yeah, or a Veritas. It's like it's like those two put together. But then again, you could say that about like our knives. People always compare them to stuff. So it's hard for me to sit here and say, they're like copying people. I don't think they are, but they're just too similar for me to like be interested in them, if that makes sense.
World Tree, reach out to me if Kevin hangs on to his. I might.
They do have a new release that they're doing. They have a pre-order up, and this is actually collaboration with Kombu, who is awesome. I love Kombu. And so this one is, to me, like obviously the most original one. So as far as I understand, they designed it with Kombu, but I could be wrong. I thought I saw that somewhere. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But this looks pretty sick.
I don't think
The
I've
link.
handled a combo.
What?
I don't think I've handled a combo.
He does. Does this say here? Yeah, Kombu. There you go. He is the head designer for Best Tech.
Gotcha.
So a lot of those not wonky, but those like really weird, crazy looking designs from Best Tech, the high end ones, those are his. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying.
What I was impressed with, and I haven't handled it, but what Pyrotech's doing.
So that's why I had to walk it back, Steve, because I knew I was going to get that. Yeah, I mean, you can design things independently and have them just look like something. I can tell you that for a fact, because like with the
I
mash,
did this
people
on
are
my
like,
live
"It's like
last
a
night.
fucking slut." With the Jager, the nip, they don't really look alike, other
They
than
don't, but if you show a bunch of people on a tiny screen, they're all like, "Oh my god!"
I mean,
Always,
sure,
I always knew he was a crook.
but I mean, we got the same with the Buzz. People were like, "Oh, that's just like the Renegade Gom."
I
They're
don't think it's anything like it. It's my
they're
favorite.
completely different, and they were literally designed at the same time. But you're always going to get that. We even with the Growler, we had people go, "Oh, that looks just like a giant mouse." It's like
What?
a biblio or whatever. I don't know. So I don't want to be the guy doing that, but at the same time, I look at their other knives. I'm just like, oh, it looks just like this or this or this. So
The Buzz is
I don't
my
know.
favorite. It's the one that hits my design language. Nothing against the stout, but it just
Yeah,
never.
he designed not here, hang on, let me he designed this one. Sorry, not this one. Where's the other? Damn, that's how close they are.
That's
Uh
identical, dude. One's a frame lock and one's a liner lock,
the
right?
Dutchman. He designed this one. Brian Brown.
So who designed it first, so we know who the thief is?
Oh, the Dutchman has been out for like a couple of years. He did a run with Tuya originally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, keep an eye on NASL. I see him on there quite a bit. I know Blade
Quiet
HP still
Carry.
has some.
Like a quiet carry. Like a drift, I guess, maybe. You don't want to know what these designs look like from like the initial sketch. Well, some of them Colin designed it, from scratch himself, but the ones that I started with the drawing are fucking they look nothing like how they end up. I'm fucking super lucky to have Colin.
I
Dude,
agree, Steve.
the buzz is fucking sick. I still don't get why they're available, but hey, at least people can buy a Divo.
Not a bad problem to have because they're sold, right? They're not really available. They're just still on the market.
Um, what's the difference? Wait, what do you mean?
Haven't you sold them to Blade HQ, or are they just holding them trying to sell them for you?
Who? Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, I don't mean available like we haven't sold them. We've sold them all.
Yeah, they're just still in the market. That's what I meant.
Yeah, but they're available. Like people can go buy them. I also got these knives in from SRM that are kind of weird. Crossbar locks.
Yeah. It looks like a Chicago.
And
Another one.
somehow, no, it doesn't. But Maybe if you see it on the screen, it does. Not in person. Somehow this one is way lighter than this one. This one I think is aluminum and this is G10 scales. I don't know what the difference is, but this one's just way heavier. But they have that cool clip design that you can just pinch and then swap over to the left side. Like you don't have to take any screws out. You just pinch it and push up and it pops out.
How good is the D10?
Flip it over. It's a spring lock. They're decent for crossbar locks. They're better than most, honestly. But it's because they have a good position with the studs, like I was talking about. So this one's decent. You know, I'm sure it's cheap. And then they have this one that I actually really like. Again, really good stud placement on this crossbar lock. Just pops really well.
That reminds me of an Asher. Have you seen his new Warncliffe come out, or Sheep's Foot?
Yeah, I saw it. Not necessarily for me.
I bought
I'm
one.
not that interested in like straight warnies that have. I like sheep's foots that have like a little angle to them at the end of the handle. This thing's nice, man. It's super lightweight. Sure, it's like $12, but I like sheep's foot because they have this thing going on, where a warnie is usually more rounded like this, and I just don't prefer that.
You like that taller tip?
Yeah, no, it's just the aesthetic. Yeah, actually, somebody showed me that the other day. The one that kind of looks like a Herman. That's a really different knife for Trevor. Still waiting on my custom slip joint from him.
Drink water. That's funny.
I'm a Dutchman, and if Brian designed me, I have a few complaints. Yeah, they are.
How do you work life balance? What's up, brother?
Well, I would say the Lush kind of falls into the traditional look. You know, I'm sure you've seen a knife that looks like this. You know what I mean?
I thought it was a slip joint until a week before it launched.
Well, we did a slip joint version of it, the Barley.
Right.
And we do have the nip slip coming at some point, and that one's a slip joint. Kind of a similar aesthetic, just shrunk down a bit. Because we changed the nip. We changed this to have a long pull on it because it's a slip joint, contoured, everything, no clip. So it changed the design completely. It really makes it look like a Lush or whatever, just squished together.
Experience Precision. What do you think about the Padre?
Work knife balance.
I think it looks very Evo-ish in the blade, not in the
Padre.
Yeah, the blade does.
Yeah, they definitely were inspired by the Evo on that knife. There's no way around it. But it also doesn't look like an Evo, so it doesn't.
No, the handle's totally different.
Exactly. It's
a great knife. The Padre is.
I just don't like the banana handle. I couldn't get past the banana handle, and if they did a mini Padre, I would probably love it. But it's just too big and too banana handly for me. Is that a saying? Banana handly?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it fits because I've got a smaller hand, but it just really goes into my hand nicely. And even though it's a bigger knife for me, it doesn't have a big pocket profile.
So we have the last prototypes are shipping from concept like now. So we did prototypes with 3 companies for the nip slip.
Steve, I agree.
Because it's our first slip joint that we're doing ourselves or whatever. We wanted to make sure it was good, and so we wanted to test a few OEMs on slip joints. And we weren't sure if Kubi could do a slip joint, never seen it. Same with Concept, really. And we knew QSP does good work, so we commissioned them to do it. And so far, we've gotten the Kubi and QSP ones, and they're both really good. But QSP definitely is a step up. They're also a step up cost-wise. But we haven't gotten the Concept ones yet. They're shipping now. So once I get those in a week or two, then we'll make the final decision. It's right now, I'd say it's looking like QSP, but Concept they did a really good job on the Lush, so they could come in and sneak it. Their price point's going to be a little better too, which would be nice, So we'll see. But
and I agree, the video is badass, and it's definitely one of my top 5s. But the only thing that draws back a little bit for me is all personal, because I'm not as much of a thumb stud guy as I am a hole guy. And I know that's not valid because it is a great knife.
It's a cool knife for sure. I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
The V2s are so they were going into final assembly, and then they did QC on the parts or whatever. And what we expected to happen happened, where when they did the DLC belt satin, they had some like spotting where you get like white spots on the blade. So this is the same thing that happened with Knife Standards when he did the DLC belt satin. And so we already knew we were going to have them do like a light tumble over it. So you still get the belt satin, the DLC and everything, but it's just it has a light tumble over it to clear out any of those spots. Because otherwise you end up with like little white spots in some places. Not all of them, but so they're doing those tests right now. So hopefully that all gets worked out, and I should have some answers on that next week. But basically they're in assembly, so we just need to finalize that, and then we'll be good to go.
Work knife balance, a knife that really blew me away this year, which is usually a default for me because it's a flipper only, is the Cypher by Mr. Mister. Super thin.
It's looking like mid-January, basically, is what I'm saying. Which is good because we thought it was going to be like March, figured, based on the timeline. But I did ask them to squeeze it in before Chinese New Year, so hopefully that all holds up. Let me see if I got anything else in. I showed you the Dachshund. I showed you the Halt. I showed you the Striga. We didn't talk about flashlights. I don't know.
Work knife, I love the Zero.
Check this out. I got this Deadwood Customs Huckleberry flashlight in titanium.
What's it do different? How many bulbs does it have?
So it's got red secondary, and it's a triple emitter. You're not going to see it, but you can see it there.
Is it one you can program on your computer, or is that a different one?
No, this one has a Dragon driver. So it's basically like, a bunch of the other ones I have where these all have the Dragon driver in it. So you basically get a secondary color. So like red here, red here, red here, blue here. And then you can choose from like 15 or 16 options on the modes you get. And then there's a couple other things you can do, but it's not like super customizable. But I just have it set to low secondary color. I use that as moonlight. And then it does 5, 15, 35, and 100%. And then back to the low secondary. I have them all set the same way to do that. And this one's the same. It just has a blue light first instead. And they have different emitters. So like this one has Samsung L51D or something emitters, and then there's different color temperatures. So that's the stuff that's different, other than just the aesthetics, obviously, right? That's the big thing, is you're buying the the body and everything. This one's pretty cool. This is the Pele from Tie 2 Design and CWF. I really like this one. It's just wild. This one has tritium in there, and then the red secondary. And then this one has a glow gasket, that red thing back there. You basically do this at night and you charge it for like 30 seconds or whatever. And then that thing in there will glow for a certain amount of time. But it's not tritium. So it's pretty cool. People use it, I think, at night so they can see where the light is. I think this one's older, so I don't know if it just doesn't stay glowing as long, or if technology is just different now. I don't know. But I'm gonna get some new ones, and I'm probably gonna put those glow gaskets in all of these.
Work nice. Feel free to reach out to me on Roby Bonds, because I went through a phase where I bought 3 different titanium ones in different sizes. I bought some aluminum, some dual fuels. I've given a lot of them away, but I think it's one of the easiest lights to use.
Later, Ant. How many volts does it have? I think he said bulbs. I think he said bulbs. This is the one you can program with your computer. This is the Overready Boss.
And just guessing, that's $800.
7.
7.
New. You could just go buy them on their website, which is cool. New 700 with I got the sapphire glass. You can get mineral glass and save $50. But this thing, you literally go to a website, you pick the modes you want and whatever. You can change some stuff like memory, no memory. There's actually like a proximity sensor in here. So if it'll drop down to secondary.
So it won't catch you on fire?
Yeah, in your pocket it won't. But that's the problem, is I tested it doesn't actually work in your pocket. So it works like when you do that. I guess if you didn't want to blind somebody, I don't know the reason for that exactly, but yeah, and this has the MOF switch, which is momentary off. So technically you can have this on all the time. And they have settings where you can just have a beacon, like every 3 seconds it'll blink. It's kind of gimmicky stuff. They have like a motion sensor option where you can have it set down, and then anytime you pick the light up, I think it is, it'll just turn back on. So I don't
But
know
if you were hiking out of a place where you were lost, to have it on your backpack blinking every however long would be good.
It would work for that kind of stuff. But the problem with this right now is I think there's something up with the driver where you have to do these pin codes to do stuff. So like, to be able to program it on my phone, I have to put it in program mode, which is like you hold down and then you double tap, and let go. And it just doesn't register that.
You've got to do it exactly right for it to.
Well, yeah, but there's like, it's not just me. Like there's something wrong with it where it's not doing it in the right timing that it's supposed to. Like you're supposed to go double tap, hold, wait, and then you have to wait between half a second and a second. And I can do it perfectly. When I first got it, I would literally sit there and do it. I programmed it like 30 times. And then you can also switch to different series, which is like, they call them pages, where it's like, I have this one set up with the secondary and then low, medium, high, whatever, right? And then you can switch to another one that you set up that maybe has the beacon and it has, whatever you want. And you have 4 of those pages, and you can switch between those by doing a certain pin, which on that one you hold down and then you do 4 taps.
And it
and
switches to the
hold.
next page of presets or whatever.
It's supposed to, but it just doesn't take the pins. It's not working properly. I talked to the guy who puts them together and everything. They're waiting on a fix or whatever. It seems to only affect some of them. It seems to be connected to which emitters you have for some reason.
Probably a firmware update. It's probably
Yeah,
just
they need a
something.
firmware update of some kind. And but I've been Steve Borrow has one too. We've been down the rabbit hole together, and luckily we were able to set it up the day we got him. We both were like fucking with it. We got him programmed exactly like we like it. So like I really don't need to do it because I have it the way I want it, and I could get into program mode if I tried hard enough. It's just like 1 out of 50 tries you get it. And then I could change it if I wanted to, but they need to fix it so that it's easier to do. You know what I mean? They need to just get rid of the pins. They need to just make it where, like, I don't know, you tap 20 times for this, like.
That's what I'm thinking. What does the pin protect? Like if somebody else gets your light?
I think it's just because there's so many options. Like,
Gotcha.
there's literally like 20 pins. I only told you about 2. There's like one to do battery check. There's one to turn on motion sensing. There's one to turn it off. There's one to switch between which switch you have. Like if you have this switch installed or the McClicky switch, you need to have it set up differently because this one is always on. When you click, it actually turns it off. It's like confusing. It really is. You only have one button, but a million options. So the pins are codes you enter to switch functions. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I guess that makes sense. But I don't know why they wouldn't just make it where instead of doing pins, you just went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 20 or whatever. And nobody's going to need to do that normally. Or my other theory was you just hold it. And like if you hold for 10 seconds and let go, then it does X. If you hold for 15 seconds and let go, it does Y. Or the best option would be you have one fucking pin code that works, right? You just have it like where you tap 20 times and then you can do everything on the computer and have it just programmed the way. Like, so I'll show you actually. It's very cool how it works. So you go to this website, LuxRC, that's the name of the driver. So I'm logged in, and then this is what I have set up. So you can set it up however you want. Like right now I have it on, I have one of them set up this way where it has a custom signal. So every 3 seconds, it blinks for 64 milliseconds. And you could change all this shit. Like, it's pretty wild.
It looks
and
like
then
my DNA vape software where I can change my different temperatures.
Probably, yeah. And then this is red moonlight, and then you can select between these are all the options you have.
That's extensive.
There's 32 brightnesses, and then there's turbo or whatever, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, technically 6 other options. So you can choose between all that stuff. And then down here, you can choose memory. You can have no memory. You can have standard, and you can have hybrid, which if you're going to do memory, I think hybrid's the best option. It basically, instead of it turns on where you were, but then when you tap again, it takes you to the beginning of your cycle.
Which would be low?
Which would be low, which to me makes the most sense to do it that way. So you don't have to then go through all the other stuff to get back to low if you wanted it. You know what I'm saying? So I like hybrid memory if I do it, but I always do no memory. You can change what kind of battery you have. So if you're using a protected battery, you can put X on. You can have it stretch your battery life or, let you get like power. Crazy output. And then it has the sensor adjustment. It literally adjusts how sensitive this is.
Well, maybe you can get it to go off in your pocket. You just had your sensitivity.
I went all the way to No, dude, I have it at 97 and it doesn't work. I tried 100, and with 100, it turns off like whenever you turn it on. So it doesn't even work. Like you
It's
can't even
it's
use,
there.
you can't even, the sensor only works on turbo too. So it's not going to like, oh shit, never mind. It works. I thought it only worked with turbo. Hold on. Yeah, it actually works with lower modes too. I didn't even notice that. It doesn't work
That's
on,
the best plan.
but I would normally just turn this off. I just had it on. It's not a big deal. But anyway, so you set all that shit, and then you hit this save and program button, and then you hit program. You put your light into program mode, which again, you just hold down 1, 2, 1, 2, 1,
And
2.
it sends beam
There it is.
codes through your monitor.
So here it is. It's in program mode, right?
Yeah.
So just to be, well, I'll show you. Hopefully I can do it again. But so I'll hit program, and then I'm going to hold it up to my screen. Now, you guys, you just saw me do all the modes. So you can see I don't have that beacon thing. So then you hold it up to the screen and just hold it against this green square. That's what I'm doing right now. And it'll blink a whole shit ton of times.
How the fuck's it even doing that? Your screen can't
There's
see.
an optical sensor inside the flashlight.
Ah.
And then when that's done, that light that was on turns off. So now that light's off, right?
So it's programmed, we can assume.
So now when I click, it's going to have that beacon.
Well, yeah.
So now it has that, and then it has moonlight, then it has whatever I did. Right? So now I'm fucked because I can't switch series because the thing's jacked up. So now I'm going to have to sit here and dick around with it to switch it back. So let's
I bet
go.
you can get it in 4 tries. I bet you if you try right now within a 4 try.
I'm going to try. So this one I always do. Where's all the, there's so many options. 1.4. And then I do 15. Where is that? Whoops. 14. I'm going to change this one to 0.9 though, I think, just to try it. 0.9, 14, and then this one 29, and then 100, which it doesn't actually do 100 because it's set up. This says 2 batteries, right? So 1 battery, 2 batteries. So you can get 100%, which is 30 watts of power that it's pushing through, if you stack those 2 batteries together, because you can actually get a longer body for this and then put 2 in there.
In sequence, yeah.
But with this body, with 1 battery, you can actually only go up to, I think it's, he said it was number 29, which is 63%.
But if you set it to 100, it's going to go as high as it can go.
It's just going to go to 63.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's not going to kill it or anything. So I'm just going to leave that. I think that's how I normally have it. 1, 2, 3, and then 4 modes. Yeah. And then these you just put off, no memory, battery check. And then there's the sensitivity on this thing. It's never been an issue, but I'll just, for shits and giggles, put it on 96. And now I just got to hope I can get it back into
4
program
times. I think you can get it 4 times if you focus.
So here goes nothing. Nope.
That's 1.
Nope.
That's
Telling
2.
you, man, I'll sit here for a fucking hour.
No, we're only going to try 4. I think it's about to happen.
Steve knows my pain right now. Nope. I got lucky as shit when I did it a second ago.
It's something in one of your pauses where it's gotten wacky.
It's not, dude. It's the driver's just fucked up. I literally talked to the guy. Like, that was weird. I don't think I got it that time. Ah!
You had it, you just turned it off.
No, I didn't. It's not that it's not this LED, it's a little one.
The little tiny one? Hey, I did notice the difference in my FocusWorks 3 at the 50K and my FocusWorks 2 at 40K. Remember, we were talking about which one to get, and I wanted to get the different one. The different one's a lot yellower. The 40K is a yellower, lighter light, where I think the 50K is what I prefer.
So 5,000K, yeah, it's cooler light. So like my FocusWorks, which mine's actually a little jacked up right now. Oh, I didn't put a battery in it because there's something wrong with the driver, but it's a warmer light, 4,000K than 5,000. That's what that is. So it's definitely cooler. I like 5,000 better, I think, too, and I didn't at first.
True, Steve. I just couldn't, when I was reading the differences, I don't think like that. Just like when I look at measurements, unless I look at it, I can't tell. But I just figured I'd get the different one just to see. And now I know that I'm a 5,000 guy.
I'm going to do this
share
all
my
night.
video real quick while you do that.
We can just keep going because I'm never going to get it.
You are going to get it. Don't give up so
It's going to take me like 3 years. I was surprised when it worked. I was like, oh, shit.
But then all you got to do is program it once and you're done.
Well, yeah.
What's 3,500? Is that even more yellow?
Yeah, the lower you go.
Just Nate says 2,700 is the best.
No, it's a temperature, Javon. So it's Kelvin. That's what the K is for. And basically it goes from like 2,500, I think, 2,700 up to, and I think it goes up to 7,000. Like you'll see some like O lights with that. But with customs, you usually see between 3,500 and 5,000.
I've got a couple of bougie newer lights that do that weird shit, and I can never get them white or yellow or understand the settings except just look at them. But I know what you're talking about because you can change those numbers and it changes the intensity or the shine of the light. Scotch and things, don't get me started on watches. I've never gone there. I think it's because I had a watch stolen in first grade by a little thug that my granddad gave me, and it turned me against him and made me a gangster. Take care, Experience Precision.
Damn it.
Not coming?
Nope. Ah, got it. All right, hold on. So I'll do it again. It's probably going to freak people out with the...
No, it's not flashing that fast. It's slow.
But yeah, I tried it on my cell phone. It programmed it on my phone.
Using the same type of app where you just do it smaller?
I just used the website and then I just zoomed it in a little bit to make it big enough. And we should be good. So now I'll do this. And we get the low. And then we get all these guys. And then back to just that instead of that strobe thing. I don't like the strobe thing. It's kind of pointless to me. And then what I do, because I'm OCD, is because I just tapped it 30 times and didn't really do anything. I'll charge the battery and put a new one in.
But if you and your family were ever on the road and had a flat tire in the middle of the night, had to pull over, the strobe would be great. If you ever got, or you need people to find you, which you hope you never do, the strobe would be great.
Yeah, but I have a light in my car that can do that already.
What I would do is I would take out my DP reach and I would signal the fucking aliens.
Yeah, that thing's wild. Does that burn?
Now, it looks warm, but man, when I shoot it, not just on my wall, but when I shoot it on the cemetery wall, about 100 yards away, it's the size. And watch Cedric and Ada's video on it, because he's shining at a mountain like 100 meters away. But the beam never gets bigger than that. And when he's shining it so far out, you can see bugs and smoke and weird shit just going through it because it's such a sharp beam. And what's weird about this one on low, you can kind of see the beam in the center of it, or you can't on my camera, but you can see a little blue light in there. But it's
I want to try one of those.
I'll send you the small one's just as good, dude. but they're not. This was like $94 from Aerotech, and this one was like 149. But they're probably made in China. But when you take them apart, they're kind of the same way. You know, they've got different stuff you could probably change out if you knew what you were doing. Yeah, it's an LEP. That's the video that I saw on Cedric and Ada today. Let me find it. Because he's only showing that one.
Are you talking about the guy from
Australia?
Already? I chatted with him on Messenger, but I also sent videos back and forth. So I don't know. You tell me. Why does that make a difference? Yeah, I kind of want to try an LEP.
Tell me if you can see. I got it shared.
I know what it is. We talked about it earlier.
Yeah, but he shines it like way out. I haven't seen Mimo in a long time, and somebody talked to was it Mimo? No, it was who's the little young lady who made leather stuff?
What?
Who's at Blade Show? The young lady who makes leather, made some stuff for Pocket Metal. Really nice. She's always was in the community, and she's just been taking some time away. What's her name? Not Mimo. I'll remember in a little while. Doesn't matter.
Oh, wait. No, I was thinking about Hanks.
It's a little name like Mimo. But Mimo's
Mama
Mike.
Hanks? No.
No, she's a.
I feel like I had her Hanks early on, and then I haven't seen her in a while.
Mainly, she makes leather. Let me go. I know what I can do. I can look at one of her pieces on IG.
Wasn't it like her name? Maddie Hanks. That's the one I'm thinking of.
No, this is somebody different. Now, she might make Hanks too, but I met her the one night that everybody went to the Kaiser dinner. I was beat, and I sat in the pit and was talking to a couple of people I met. And next thing I knew, I fell asleep, just sit down. And when I woke up, I had Chef Rocky sitting by me and her.
No, I don't, Palmer.
And you know, when you wake up, you're kind of groggy anyway. You don't really know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, I had no
I
idea.
didn't make a great first impression.
I had one in, Palmer, but it went into the pass around.
Her name is. Get to her slip.
I don't know what Happy's getting into an argument again. Yeah, drivers are, but they are gimmicky though, in a way, Patina. Like, I don't need beacons and whatever. Like, I would honestly, I don't know. I take that back because I do really like how cool it is that you can program this off the screen. But at the same time, if this got sent to me and it just had these modes, I might be happier because I am dying with my OCD right now with this light. I have spent hours trying to get the pins down, and then I found out it wasn't me. It was just the thing is kind of on the fritz, and that's how they are right now when you have the 519A emitters for some reason. I don't know the whole thing, but like their engineers are looking into it, and it's like my OCD is going nuts because I'm like, I got the timing down. I literally, the first 2 nights I had this, I changed the series like 80 times. Easy. It would maybe take me 2 tries, if that. And then all of a sudden, I couldn't do it at all.
Night, Jim Miller.
Like, it's just weird. So that bugs me.
You're right, M-Bomb. I just found her page. It is Iggy.
And then with the other lights, the ones that, like I love the Dr. Jones driver because you can just do whatever you want with it. And that all goes through just clicks and holding. And honestly, as of right now, I prefer the Dr. Jones driver over this one because it actually works. And I can do it all from the light. There's something to be said about not having to use a computer or a phone to do it.
But
You
didn't you
still
say
have
you
to
could do it
put it
either
in
way?
program mode. You're still clicking shit to do it. You're not just like, okay, I'm going to program it. You know what I mean?
But didn't you say you could also use that in different series to program it? You didn't have to have a computer, or was that a different light?
No, I was saying you can switch to 4 different pages, they call it. But you have to program each of those through the computer.
Okay, so you can't program it through switches. That's what I
You
was saying.
can't program it other than putting it into program mode or switching series, but that's not programming. That's just switching what you already programmed. So yeah, you can't do anything other than I guess technically you could turn on motion sensing, but that's not, again, really programming. Where with this, right, I can just tap a bunch of times and turn memory on real quick. You know what I mean?
But you've got to remember how to do that, which is
They give you a
once
card, but like here, I'll show you because I can probably remember. Right now, I'll put it on the second setting, turn it off. When I turn it back on after 5 seconds, it's going to come back on red, right? Because I have no memory on. So now, tap it 15 times real fast, hold down, wait for the second blink. 1, 2, on, off. Now, I'll put it on this mode, turn it off, wait 5 seconds. It'll come back on that high because I turned memory on. Tap
that's
a
pretty
bunch
cool.
of times.
You're getting it back in memory
Wait.
to change it.
Wait for the 2 blinks. Do this. Click down. Now when I turn it back on, it's going to be red again because I turned off memory. Right? So I can do that in 2 seconds. Like with this one, I can change this color from green to, let's say I want blue this time, right? This is my red choice. I want
It's
blue.
going to blink through blue.
So now I selected blue. So now whenever I turn this light on, it comes on blue instead of green. That to me is honestly easier than all the shit I got to do with this. I got to go to a computer. I got to change this shit. I got to, I don't know. You could look at it either way. This one I can change literally almost everything on, except I can't remove the double tap mode. Like I can't remove it double taps to turbo or whatever. But you could change the brightness on turbo. That's what I did. So now if I accidentally double tap, it doesn't go to turbo, it goes to this. It's like a low. Because I kept accidentally, because I cycle fast, right? I'll go through modes like fast, and then all of a sudden I put on turbo, and it's like, fuck. And you can't delete that mode. But with this one, you can add and delete modes. So if I want, instead of moonlight, low, medium, high, and back to moonlight, I can change this now to add a mode. And then I'll have 5 modes instead of 4. And I can have up to 7, I think. And then this one also has what we talked about earlier, the pages. I can switch between 2 pages or groups, and I can have different settings on those 2 groups. And it's way easier to switch on this because I just have to tap 8 times really fast and then select 2. So I think to switch, I haven't used this in a while. So we'll see what I remember. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait for it to just blink off. And now I don't even, I'm trying to think of what I'm supposed to do. So it just went through and nothing happened because I held down. I'm pretty sure with this one, you tap the number of times you want to do it. So let me try that again. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 1, 2, hold. Yeah. So now I'm in that other group. See? Where I just have this. And then if I 8, 1, 2, and now I'm back to my group where I have 4 modes. And then if I want to add a mode, so like let's say I want to add a mode between moonlight and low, I'll turn it on low, and then I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. And I think what I just did accidentally is delete a mode. So now I probably have 3. Now I have 3 modes. Watch. Moonlight.
But if you're out in the camp surviving,
And
that
high.
won't matter. The bear will have eaten you by now.
So now I have 3 instead of 4. I accidentally deleted one. So let's add it back, right? Click here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. So now I'll have moonlight, medium, medium, high.
Now
So
let's put that low between the moonlight and the
right.
medium.
So what I did there now, I deleted one, but now I added it back. But what it does is it copies the one you have on when you add it. So it just copied medium. So now I have to go to the one I want to change. So watch this.
But you have to remember the number that is 1, 2, or
right. So I want to change low, right? I want to make it low technically.
Which would be number 2.
So I have that selected now. Now I can actually change to the exact brightness that I want, which is really cool. So this one is number 3. I'm remembering all this, by the way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 1, 2, 3, hold. It's going to blank out, and then it'll start staging up. And when it gets to where I want it,
you just let go?
I let go and hold, and then it registers it. So now I'll have moonlight, low, medium, high, back to moonlight.
That's cool.
So you could fucking do everything with this driver. I love this driver.
So do they all have different things that you like, or is there one that's kind of your favorite?
So that's
or are
the
they
thing.
all kind of different?
They all have give and take. So this driver, you can do so many cool things. Add, remove modes, like all that shit. But it doesn't work with secondaries.
With other colors.
So you can't have a secondary emitter. You can't have colors with this driver. So there's triple emitters that have this driver, but they can't have red or blue or whatever. Now, for people who think the secondaries are corny or gimmicky, that's perfect, right? For me, I love the colors because they work really well at night as a moonlight mode. And they're kind of cool because they're colors.
Wouldn't that make sense, though, that in a future firmware they're thinking about that? Or would you have to change bulbs, too?
Say that again?
Would it not be, if they know that that's a limitation, is it something they could update in firmware? Or would you have to change the bulb configuration, too?
You always say bulb. They're LEDs, so they're not bulbs. They're like little, they're basically chips. Yeah. So I don't know. You would think that a driver that smart, they could update to work with secondaries. But as far as I understand, you cannot do that. And then the Dragon driver, the one that does have secondaries, it has its limitations because there's only like 15 preset mode options, and literally none of them is perfect. You always want to have one thing removed or add one thing, and you have to choose 1 out of 15, and that's all you get. And it's very limited in terms of programmability.
Which it can do, right?
But I think it's enough. Like it lets me do, like, the way I set up the boss is basically I have secondary, and then I have a low, medium, high, and then I think turbo, and then that's it. That's basically what I have here: secondary, low, medium, high, turbo, and then
that one seems a lot thinner.
So what? This one?
The one you had in your left hand. Not too much.
It's one of the. It's called the BOSS, which stands for big output, small size. I think they take the same battery, but yeah, this one is a little slimmer. This is That's what I was going to say earlier is if you take out of the equation the fact that the pins aren't working and all that shit, I have it set up the way I like it. And this puts out the nicest light out of all the lights I've tried, I think. It just is such a good flashlight that it's okay that it has some issues. And, hopefully they update that and then they'll send me the update or I'll send it in or whatever and it'll be fine. But I'm not going to like return it and wait until that happens and buy it again because I do have it set up the way I like it. I just have to like teach myself to not care about those pins. I have to just let it go, you know?
It's a temporary thing.
Yeah. But my brain can't, like, as soon as this thing's in my hand, I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to do the pin. I just can't stop myself.
Dude,
I don't even need to, and I want to
could
do
not
it.
be in this hobby if I possessed, and I'm not saying what you possess is wrong. That's why you're a good designer, but you're very particular. If I was like that, I wouldn't be happy with shit.
Yeah. I actually got this set pretty perfect.
Is this a rare size, this 21-700? Is that not big in flashlights?
It's big. It's just for bigger flashlights.
Yeah, I mean, all my Maritacs use it, but it used to be a vape cell that I used. And I went to that Pine manufacturing, and they didn't have it as a standard size. I'm sure you can make one.
He doesn't have a lot of sizes. I'm trying to work with him to add some, like the 16-340 size. And maybe he doesn't have 21-700 because that's not going to be like a common EDC flashlight size because it's so big.
Right.
But in terms of flashlights, it's a very standard battery. I think Samsung makes the
But even both of these
21-700s.
little clip floodlights use it. I mean, it's not just the honking. This is a big light.
But
like,
you use that, you're not carrying a 21-700.
And that's a 21-700. They also have sleeves where you can run an 18-650 in them.
Right. That's all it really is because the voltage is the same. So like I tested it on this light. This is my barrel custom. And
that's not your disassembly of that or your partial disassembly.
I'm not sure, but yeah, the video goes up, I think tomorrow, the review, maybe, or it might be the next day. And you'll see, I take the whole thing apart basically, but the way this guy does it, what people like about it is you can change the aesthetics. You can remove this ring. You just literally, there's an O-ring here. You just pull that off and you can put a different ring on. And as far as Steve found out, it's basically just a men's ring. Like it's a size 12 ring that pops on there.
So you can put your wedding ring on there?
What?
You could put a wedding ring on there?
Basically, it's a little big for me, but it basically is just a ring. It's like chamfered just like a ring. Let me see if I can get it off. Well, I don't want to mess with it, but
no.
Yeah, it's literally what it is. Just the size has to be, it's a 12 or whatever. And then this black thing in there is a tube that sits in here. So you just pull it out like this, just a sleeve. So
is it plastic or aluminum?
I think it's aluminum. Yeah, it's definitely not plastic. So what I tested was with that sleeve in there, this 16340 pops right in there, right? And it's a 3.7 volt battery. But if I take that sleeve out, I can drop an 18350 in there literally perfectly. Slap the head on. Oh, hold on. What did I miss?
Maybe you didn't put a button top or something and you needed a different one.
Did I click the switch?
Just another one of your defective custom lights.
Yeah, right. Oh, there. Sorry. So it must be the I don't know what it was.
So ideally the runtime would be longer with that battery.
So yeah, you get a longer runtime, but I don't think this is safe.
Well, it doesn't look good.
It definitely doesn't look good. I don't think it's safe. My point is there's a lot, like they're really, with these custom lights, you're really just buying a fucking tube and a head.
And everything else is kitted together based on the maker and what they're trying to get.
You can basically swap out anything you want. I mean, in my video on the Pele on this one that'll post next week, I literally ended up taking out the whole pill, the emitters, the optic, and the glass. Like all that stuff comes out, and then it just stacks up. So if you wanted to change the optic, you just buy one and drop it in. You want to change the glass, drop it in. You want to add a glow gasket, drop it in. If you want to change the emitters, obviously you got to buy a new pill,
Driver.
and then you got to add the board, and you got to solder the emitters on. But you can do all that shit. They sell convoy lights. You can buy those. They're basically bodies, and then you can buy all the pieces, and you can build your own triple emitter EDC light if you want from Convoy.
I smell a
Pretty cool
$350 Divo custom light coming out.
I gotta find a place to make them. I don't think I want to make a Chinese light. I mean, I guess I could have an OEM just OEM the body and the head, and then I could have myself put it together, have somebody
And
put it all
Cole and
together
them
here.
couldn't do shit like that with all they're doing with their ice thing, right? It sounds like he doesn't have any capacity to fuck with stuff.
Who?
Trustate at their machine shop.
I don't know. He was talking about, he asked me for the file for the mash like 2 years ago. I gave it to him. They were going to prototype it. That never happened. I'm sure he wants to. I'm sure his dad doesn't see the point. He's not going to.
His dad, you've heard him talk about every time he hands his dad a knife, his dad will look at it real close and said, we could make that for $1,700. And it's like a $300 knife. So I think his dad just realizes their machines making the shit that they're contracted for make a lot more money than a passion project.
It's not worth it. Yeah. That's the whole problem here. Or not the problem. That's why you don't have knives made here. Unless somebody owns the shop and they're a knife addict. Like guys who just own machine shops aren't going to make knives because they can make aerospace parts for way more money.
I think in the next 5 years, you're going to see somebody or some people that offer that service. And I think it's going to be people that surprise you.
I really like it, so it's not for sale. Sorry, what?
No, I was just saying, I think in the next 5 years, it's going to be easier because people are going to be more open to it. And I think it's going to be surprising at who the first people who do that. I know REC's doing it now, but I wouldn't be surprised just making USA made knives.
Yeah, until I see Rec make good knives, I'm not gonna. I don't know.
Me neither.
Quality. But actually, ironically, we've been trying to get a knife made here for I don't know how long now, and the last company just ghosted us. I shot them another message tonight on Instagram just on a whim, and they hit me back. So we'll see if that either we get like our money back or something, or if maybe they'll actually make the knives. That would be cool.
I just think somebody that's got the wherewithal and the passion that's making their own knives is going to see the value.
There's no value. That's the problem. It would have to be somebody who's making their own knives and then can't sell them. Because if they're making their own knives, they can make more money making their own knives. There's no point in making my knives. They're just going to lose because they're not going to make the same amount. If their knife costs $200 in material and everything to make, and then they sell it for $550 because it's a USA made knife, then they're going to make my knife and I'm going to pay them $300 for it. It makes no sense for them. They're already not able to make enough knives to sell to people here. Like, why would they take the time to then make my knife? That's the problem.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
like tactile, they can just make more tactile knives and people will buy them.
And TRM can make more TRMs. And the one I think about is, and it's just I don't know why I think this, but I could see one day Medford opening his doors to do it.
He
Just because
does. He does OEM work. It's just the problem
for
with
who?
Medford's OEM work is it's really expensive.
And it looks like Medford.
The wait times are extremely long, and you end up with a flat slab Medford. An example is that I forget the brand, but they did that one knife.
Strider XR or
Well,
something.
no, that is an example, but there's another one that came out. I think DLT had them. It was like a flipper with a Bowie blade that came out last year, but it looked just like a Medford. So it's like, I don't know. Vehement.
I think
That's
you're
it.
right. I know you know about it more than me because you're looking.
The Vehement, which is cool. The Vehement knives, come on. We got to do this giveaway. I got to get up with my kid tomorrow.
That sucks.
Well, it doesn't
That's a
suck.
joy. That's the
Yeah.
best thing about I mean, when you get to be my age, your kids at school, you look back on those
Mongrel.
days.
Yeah, but I miss, like, even now, I miss when she was younger than she is now. So I don't want
Did
to
you
miss
know?
anything.
Is she 4 yet?
Nah, she'll be 4 in July.
When mine turned 4, dude, I had an absolute come apart, breakdown, crying by myself, thinking she was a quarter of the way to 16. And it seemed like a blink. Your mind plays tricks on you like that. And
Yeah,
I didn't know how I'd be able to being a dating young man,
yeah,
raising a daughter, but that was no problem. Everything I dreaded, and she wasn't a good girl, but it just wasn't something that bothered me because you're in such protective mode by the
yeah.
end.
This is the knife. Looks just like a Medford.
It looks like an en belay.
I mean, it's cool. I'm just saying it's not. I don't think you're gonna get. Uh,
Jesse, it is crazy,
yeah.
buddy.
Yeah. Wait until they're teenagers and they want nothing. That's what I'm saying. That's why I want to enjoy the time I do have. You know what I mean?
Divo
Millet.
was her
Yeah, but
name,
millet.
Lefty.
So here's the thing. I don't want to have something made here just to have something made here. It needs to be good. And there are some OEMs, but as far as what I've seen, the quality's not like I don't want to sell a $500 knife that's as good
Average.
as a $50 Chinese knife. Like, sure, if the quality is the same as a Riot and I have to sell it for 600, fine, no problem. But if the quality is as good as a $40 Sen cut, why would I want to do that? It just doesn't make sense for anybody to do that. Other than I'm just being stubborn and have to have an American made knife,
When time's right, it'll come. It'll
which
happen.
people do, All right.
I came real close to buying that prototype of that growler.
What?
I almost bought that prototype growler.
Yeah. I think Steve has it, actually. But I think I have a call with them on Tuesday, so we'll see if either they just explain why they bailed and then it's over, or if they'll actually maybe do it, because we'll do the run. We wanted to do a run. I mean, they were going to be small batch, like 20-piece runs with different inlays and finishes every time.
Right.
And I get it if they can't do it. It would have been nice to be told. So we'll see what comes of it. Anyway, I
Little
have
one,
this
that's
slider
exactly
thing I
right.
showed earlier. I'll show you again. I call it the Pebble. Comes with some little pieces you can mess with, but I found that you can't really do anything. It doesn't work, but I'm going to try to put a rubber band on this because I feel like it was coming apart and I don't have one. Oh, here's like a little bag. Perfect. What else do I have? I feel weird just giving away this. Yeah. I have. Oh, here. I have a Kaiser Amicus. Let's do that. Why not? Kaiser Amicus. It's a little button lock from their new Laconic series. This thing's actually really good. Ironically, it's a button lock. But here's my theory on button locks. If they have one deployment method, usually they're half decent. Once you add deployment methods to a button lock, it just goes to shit because, I don't know, as I
Only
feel
be
it.
tuned for one. Thumb studs have been my most successful.
I think flippers are usually the best one. But I don't know. I like this one a lot for being like $40. Got some interesting milling there on the scales. But anyway,
Kaiser's killing it.
throw that in with the pebble, I call it. What?
Kaiser's killing it.
Yeah.
With their knives.
They just sent me some new stuff. I'm hoping it has the new Loot 10 Mark's new design with them in it. That would be cool. All right, so
Finish filling out my shit.
dude, this page over here, this thing is still flashing because I never turned it off.
Your dog's in the background season up.
Yeah. StreamYard. Yeah, I'm glad I got it back to programming.
We did the number game last night.
Yeah, I like doing this hashtag.
The StreamYard thing's a little sketch. I'm losing faith in it.
In what?
StreamYard.
Why?
It's just very repetitive, and I know it's random, and I don't mind because I think it's karma. Happy haptics, that's actually true too.
What do you say?
Kaiser's not killing it, just another soulless megacorp.
I don't know. They work with community designers. Those are the ones I really like from them. So
I used to, my collection started with Kaisers. I've given away all but about 4 of them now.
I mean, they still do some like just soulless designs, but they've taken a real. I mean, they work with a lot of people in the community.
That Mercury is unique as anything I've seen.
I love that thing, dude.
That's a great knife. I want to get Dopey to take the ano off. Either make it raw.
It would be cool if they had just a raw one or a blue one as well when they did that. With Doman, yeah. Well, a lot of those Kaisers are designed by Azo, and I met him at Blade Show. I mean, he's a real person. Like, he's a Chinese knife designer. So, the Drop Bear, the Doman, the Beg Lighter, he designed all those. Man, this fucking Sparrow is so good.
Did you handle the production Sparrow?
Yeah, I
Is it night
pre-ordered
and
one.
day? Are they night and day?
Yeah, I mean, this is a handmade custom. It's not even like it's not like a Oz where it's like CNC custom. This is handmade by Greg, so it's completely different.
What I meant to ask you earlier,
I like this better.
about the Lush was, have you fucked with the Lamia?
Yeah. You don't remember that whole saga?
Well, I kind of do. Didn't y'all have a falling out?
We did, but it's all good now. Or, as far as I know.
Or did I spell it wrong? I really liked the knife, and it was a nice sell flute. But again, it was DOUTHE for. It was Ethan Ruins who got me hooked on it. I'd never even noticed it.
What?
I ain't saying nothing.
Oh. All right. Surprised we still have 112 people this late. You guys
Because
are
you
crazy.
attract people, dude.
Oh, is Big Red on tonight?
I think he might be.
All right. Our timing is pretty good then.
Yeah, I ran into Sid Stevie last night because they moved back an hour because of Arizona time.
Yeah, douche time is tricky.
Let's see. What is it? Big Red? Big. EC. Well.
All right. 10 seconds.
He's not live tonight, it doesn't look like.
Maybe he did one earlier.
Or tomorrow, let's see. Yeah, I think he said he was gone this weekend, if I remember correctly.
Once that kicks over to 60, I'm going to hit it. So if you didn't enter.
Make it happen, biggin'.
Man, the rock pattern on this thing is just wild.
You think you'll keep that one?
Look at it. It's on the spine. I mean, it's just fucking gnarly.
Yeah, I mean that's a beautiful knife.
Keeping it right now. It's $1,700, so you know there's that. Still at 59, you bitches. Somebody log into an alternate account.
That's funny, Scotch. You're right, guys. He's in Florida with his family.
Scotching things is hitting the scotch tonight. All right, here we go.
That's my buddy.
If Drinkwater wins, I agree. It's going to be crazy. Oh! All right, dude. Winner, chicken dinner. You got to have a Kaiser and a fidget.
You will, Joseph.
A Kaisery fidget, know what I mean?
It's a win-win.
Yeah. Shoot me your address via email, buddy. It's LeftyEDC88@gmail.com. It's right below your last comment. Or you could do what everybody else does and hit me up on DM or something, and then I'll be like, can you email it to me? Because that's how I keep track of addresses. And then
I say the same thing too, so I can copy and paste that shit.
And then they just DM it right after I ask. They just DM it to me again.
I always say,
Instagram.
I need your
I'm like,
email
God damn it. Then
I
email it to myself.
To verify it and to send you tracking. So send an email to this address, or you.
I mean, I can do it through Instagram. It's just my to-do list is my email. That's how I do. That's how I do it. So like, I don't have 8,000 emails in my inbox. I have 0. And then when I need to do something, I have an email in my inbox. I just do it that way.
It's a lot easier.
So well.
And I can't check Instagram every day. I can post every day, but I don't get into it and read stuff because it'll suck an hour out of my day in no time.
First off, dude, people designing for Kaiser are not making millions. You get like 5%, 8%, 10%, depending. I think the average is like 5, honestly. I don't know what Kaiser's is.
Steve, I've got us $1 million plan, buddy. We just started an IRL streaming company, and we walk around with our phone and a mic, and we fuck with people in real time, and then we beg for super chats. People are making $10 million a month doing that shit. It's ridiculous.
Doing what?
Go to Social Blade.
I don't want to.
And look at the top earners in their TikTok. And they do battles.
I'm good. All right, cool. I gotta go to sleep.
Get some sleep, brother. You'll be answering messages for the next 2 hours. I'll watch you.
Totally forgot about the ball sack, man. I think I gave it away or something. Somebody needs to send me a new ball sack, and I'll wave it around. No problem. But now I got the horns, man. I got the horns.
That's ball sack squared. Later, Dwayne.
All right. Cool. Anything you want to say, Javon?
No, man. I love all you guys, and Lefty, I appreciate you letting me join you, buddy.
Yep, of course. Thank you for coming on and trying to push clones and all that good stuff. Love you guys.
The clones are good. They can lead to purchases.
Peace.
Peace.